The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
A couple of hockey players come down the laneway the other day.
Did you get her done?
Just kidding, we don't give a f*** you, Shorzy.
You, Riley, I haven't laughed this hard since your mom queefed out her birthday candles.
You, Shorzy.
Yeah, you, Riley, your mom hand-bombed herself at our picnic at the beach and then shot a pint and a half of squirt into the water like sea levels aren't rising at an alarming rate.
You, Shorzy.
You, Jonesy, your mom gave me an over-the-pants handy at the mall and then cried when I cleaned myself up with the racy top she got at Sirens.
What is slashing?
Slashing is, like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And there's a penalty for that?
Yeah, and for a trip also, you know?
Oh.
Like that, and for hook like this, and for spear, you know? Like that. All bad.
Bad.
You do that, you go to the box, you know? 2 minutes by yourself, and you feel shame.
What's up, Minnesota? Let's get wild! Are you guys ready? Let's play hockey! Take it away, coach! Wild fans! It is time to get wild!
Showtime! That's a hell of an intro. Who's that hollering their ass off at the Pigs game?
The last one was Gopher football coach PJ Fleck.
Oh yeah, he comes uncorked.
Very enthused.
Yeah, he gets psyched.
He really wanted to play hockey.
Yeah. And before that, what's that?
High energy.
Oh, he sure does.
I dig that guy.
Before that, from the Twins, Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa.
Oh, I remember that. That was cute. Absolutely adorable. Well, damn, here we go. This is the stuff right here, the halfway mark for the work week. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Speaking of hockey, later on today, Marcus, Pigs winger Marcus Foligno will join us on the radio. He's probably all full of beer and pizza. He had
nothing to do.
They haven't had much to do the last few days.
What they do, play Sunday. They ain't doing jack squat till tomorrow night, so maybe we'll get him on the line with an overhang or something. Marcus Foligno at 7:30 this morning. It is 5:43.
8 o'clock.
What?
Sorry, 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I effed that up. 8 o'clock. We're just getting started around here. I might not know what I'm talking about just yet. How you doing, Cubby?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Real good.
Doing all right.
What's poppin'? The kids might say. What's poppin'?
Oh, a question just popped into my head.
What's that?
For you, son. Are you still in love with Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? You watch her television show?
No, I'm not into any of that kind of stuff.
No, I was just reading she has a television show.
She does.
She's a singer, though. That was her first gimmick?
Yeah, she got big on American Idol. Right? It was American Idol.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She was the first season winner.
What was the slogan you always threw our way? Something like, if someone can't sing it, hand it to Kelly Clarkson or something.
Yeah, she can sing anything.
She can sing anything, I think. Yeah, that's what you said. You're still in love with her?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm in love with her as much as I used to be. I mean, that's gone to Henry Cavill, star of The Witcher, Superman.
Yeah, understandable. Oh my gosh, that man is gorgeous.
I don't think he can sing, but yeah, I've moved on to him.
Put it past him being able to sing,
but
though.
But I'll always have love for Kelly Clarkson.
And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I'm not questioning where, how, where, or who you love. But boy, I bet you Kelly Clarkson never saw it coming. I don't even know who Henry Cavill is. But when he walked on the scene, I bet you Kelly Clarkson never thought of him as a threat.
I wouldn't think so.
Pick up a picture. Pick up a picture. If you don't mind, pull up a picture of Henry Cavill. I don't know who that is, but
here's one for you.
Oh, he's all cut up. Yeah, I didn't think you were so into the blown up guys, but
well, there's a wide variety.
This guy's just yoked.
Yeah, he's pretty yoked.
He's an actor?
Yeah, he just comes across as a really cool guy.
All right.
He's a big video game nerd,
Nice.
like a board game nerd.
You know what I was thinking? Is this the guy who played Jesus in the Jesus ass whooping movie from a number?
I think is it Henry Caviezel or something Caviezel?
Right.
Jim
Forget
Caviezel?
it. Jim Caviezel. Caviezel. All right, forget it. I get lost whenever I learn somebody new. It messes with my brain. I was asking you about Kelly Clarkson now, so does it trouble you at all that she admits to peeing in the shower?
No, I'm fine. You have admitted to it. Ashley, I know people do it. I personally
do not do it.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No.
I'm sorry to miscategorize
Not in
that.
the-
Is
not in
it
the
you
shower.
poop in the shower?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, she's a big waffle stomper.
Oh, gosh, gross.
Why did you think? Yeah, I'm wondering why you thought Ashley was a shower peer.
Are you a pool peer?
No.
Oh, I can't. For some reason, I thought you had admitted to such
Do you
a thing.
pee at all?
No.
You don't.
I'll
Have
check
you-
all
I have
those
serious
boxes.
bladder infections.
Have
Oh,
you
really?
No, I'm kidding.
Wapple? You pee everywhere?
Oh yeah, pools, showers, you name it.
Yeah, me too.
I peed there.
Is it possible maybe Ashley talked about some pee play in her love life? Is that?
No.
I don't
Okay.
remember that.
Stay away from that, too.
I'm just wondering where that thought came
That
from. I've
seems
been there
too
many
messy.
times. I've been there many times where I've thought, did you say this? Did you say that? And then they say, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking. Kelly.
Her and like Keenan Thompson were talking about this, right, on our show.
God dang it. Someone's got to give me a heads up on when this Kelly Clarkson television show is on, because if she's going to have Keenan Thompson on, I'd like to watch.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm reading
Yeah.
his book right now, actually.
He
has
wrote
a book?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just came out last week.
What's
Keenan
it-
Thompson.
What's it called?
Oh, gosh, I got to look up the title.
Who the hell writes a book when they're 35 years old?
I wonder if he wrote it.
No, it definitely is coming from him, for sure.
Well, I mean, meaning there's ghostwriters. Like
Ghostwriters.
a friend of mine is a ghostwriter, and he's written some pretty big stuff.
That's
and,
so cool.
Which he's not allowed to talk about, but I'll tell you what, in private company, he talks about. And I can understand why.
It's called When I Was Your Age.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe Keenan Thompson isn't that. Maybe he's older than 35. It seems a little young to be writing a book, but
He's
I love the guy.
45.
45. I love the guy.
Does he just brag in the book about how great he was when he was our age?
No,
he
actually,
brag
he's
in the
very self-conscious about
Nah,
everything that's
darn
gone
it.
on in his life. He went bankrupt at one point, which I didn't know. It's all very fascinating.
You're reading the story of Keenan Thompson. Okay. All right. Fair enough, Cubby. I was just curious because, like you just said, Kelly Clarkson's television show, she was talking to Keenan Thompson. For whatever reason, they got on the topic of hygiene habits, and Kelly Clarkson admitted she often brushes her teeth in the shower and sometimes even takes a squeege in there.
I brush my teeth in the shower all the time.
I've done that.
I don't do anything than the shower and shave in there.
Yeah, I've never thought to
Well,
bring
there
a-
might be one other thing I've done when I was a young man, but it's been a really long time since that happened.
I've never thought to bring the toothbrush in there. I don't have a problem with that practice. I've just never had the idea to bring my toothbrush up in there.
I just get it everywhere on my face, so it's so much easier just to brush in the shower. It just washes off.
Do you really?
Yeah, dude, I'm like a 2-year-old. It's just all over my mouth. It's like in my beard. It's
Are you
gross.
serious?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
it's
hilarious.
disgusting.
Yeah, he's mentioned that before. You
I can't figure it out.
you end up looking like a drooling dog.
Yeah, and then it's like if I had an electrical toothbrush. Ooh, watch out.
Electrical
Yeah.
toothbrush.
Yeah, because then it's just, vibrating, so it's just spraying everywhere.
Oh, I bet the mirror is just disgusting.
I know it takes a little bit to get used to that because my dentist was on me for years to get one of those, and I finally did. And the first time I thought, how does anybody use these?
I can't even think.
Yeah, exactly. Your brain's rattling. There's stuff spraying everywhere. But yeah, I got used to it. I figured it out.
I don't think I'd be a very good pilot of, as Wappa would put it, an electrical toothbrush. I think it would get away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would get away from me. Where do you put your toothbrush when you're in the shower?
I throw it back in the sink once I'm done with it.
You just toss it
Toss it to the sink.
right over to the sink area.
Yep, and then, kind of wash it off once I'm done, put it in the toothbrush holder.
Sure. Well, there you go. Kelly Clarkson, she's one of us. She's a shower peer.
I like to know that kind of information.
You do?
Yeah, it makes me feel better about myself, my current shower peeing situation.
You have an
because
interesting...
Kelly Clarkson has made you feel it's okay?
Yeah.
That's what she does. That's why she's a treasure.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if Kelly Clarkson does it, then I feel better about myself.
Okay, I got a little confused. You almost made it sound like you're having some personal dilemma involving shower peeing. To do it or to not do it. You're saying you are a shower peer. If Kelly says it's okay, then it's okay.
Right, then it's okay in my book.
Right. She didn't say anything about this waffle stomp that somebody brought up a minute ago. That's terrible.
I think that was Ashley
gross.
that brought it up.
Yeah. Yuck, Ashley. Come on.
Sorry, guys.
You're better
That's
than
unbecoming.
that. That's unbelievable.
I wonder, I'm trying to figure out why I'm not a shower peer. My mom was very, maybe not picky is the right word, but if we peed anywhere other than the toilet, she would be furious, meaning like outside somewhere or whatever. She just would get on us about it. For whatever, there wasn't a lot of things that set her off, but that was one for whatever reason.
She thought that was just gross.
Inappropriate, disgusting.
Well, who am I to question, where you're... I don't know. I don't mean to make you sound anti-shower pee, but where this all stemmed from, I'm sure you're right. Your mother maybe, ragged on you a couple times about it, and it stuck with you. But also, just generally speaking, you were kind of taught that your genitals are bad.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the Catholic guilt and stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were taught to hate our genitalia.
You were taught that anything genitalia related was bad. That is a no.
It's a sin.
So it's a sin, anything to do...
Urination and procreation. That's all it's for.
Right, so that's just my guess that might have something to do with it.
My wife I could classify her as anti-shower peer. Maybe also because I shared the shower at different times with 8 or 9 people depending on the year. And so I didn't want to, give them a fresh floor full of urine.
That's nice of you.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't like it because just cleanliness. I don't know. I'm the one that cleans the shower. So, I don't want to have to,
Your boyfriend
use
strikes me as a
extra
shower
bleach.
peer.
Oh, 100%. I know he does.
I just don't know how everybody isn't a shower peer.
I always go before I hop in.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
And I don't want to sit here all day and do this, but you're worried about cleanliness. Well, it's not like I'm spinning around in a circle while I'm urinating in the shower.
Getting on the curtain or
I understand
something.
you're probably aiming right for the drain.
Yeah. And even if I'm not, the floor of the tub is all warm, soapy, watery. Where's the mess? Where's the mess happening? But again, we don't need to sit here all day and talk about this.
Plus,
let's move on to number twos. You want to talk number twos?
Well, first, I do want to say I want to make sure everybody knows I don't have a problem with shower peers. If my wife peed in the shower, I wouldn't mind. And I might actually kind of think that was pretty cool. And I might appreciate an invite. Purple Belt Jesus said, we got to wish him luck today. He has court for peeing outside in the back of a parking lot after a wedding in Wisconsin.
I've had friends that have to deal with that.
I've mentioned before I had a buddy who publicly urinated across the street from a park, or maybe it was a school. Now I forget. But it was a park. And he was threatened with being charged as a sex offender over being at 2 a.m. across from a park. He was terrified. It was hilarious.
I had a buddy, he came back from college in Colorado, during the holidays to, party with us and everything like that. And we were going to the U of M. He was staying at my place, and he got a public urination ticket, and he had to fly back a couple months later to appear in court for that public urination ticket.
It's awesome. I dig that. I dig that they made him come back. All right, so why don't we move on to the deuce? Has some story going around. The godless, evil, awful social media. Some gal, she's probably making it up, but let's just say she's not. She broke up with her boyfriend because he refused to bring her toilet paper after she took a dump.
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was on the toilet the other day. And I'm not joking. I'm being so serious right now. So I'm at his house. There's no toilet paper. I'm like, damn. Hey, babe, could you please grab me some toilet paper? He said, no. I already told you that bathroom's out of toilet paper. Sorry.
Okay, I'm breaking up with her right now because she talks way too fast. What the hell did you just do? Mainline Red Bull or something? Settle down.
I think you have a limit on TikTok, like how long your videos can be. So that's probably why she's trying to talk faster.
Then make 2 videos.
Is that right?
I agree.
I didn't know
Part 1,
that.
Part 2.
Some of them seem kind of long.
Yeah.
I know because if somebody put a Great Dane on TikTok, my wife will send me a link.
You'll find out about it.
Sometimes my phone is blowing up. It's out of control.
That's so cute.
I broke up with my boyfriend the other day because he walked into the bathroom when I was taking a dump. All right, this gal, she says she dumped her boyfriend. He refused to bring her toilet paper. She's at his house. She had to crack one off. She finished. She realized there was no toilet paper. She called out to her boyfriend to bring her a fresh roll. He refused. He said that was gross.
You can just leave it outside the door.
Yeah, I think that I would dump him too. That says a lot about like his character.
You're not dumping him for that.
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was...
Because if he's like that, then I bet he's not the nicest boyfriend in the world.
You have 15 seconds to tell your story or you're dead.
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was on the toilet the other...
God help us all. The dude eventually caved and brought her some wipe skis, but he opened the door and threw it at her, and it hit her in the head.
Oh! Toilet paper grenade.
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was on the toilet the other day.
God, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. I can't really, honestly, that is one of my biggest pet peeves, people who talk that freaking fast. I go crazy with that. Just slow down. What are we doing here? Is this an Olympic event?
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was on the toilet the other day. I'm not joking, like I'm being so serious right now.
I'm being so serious right now, she says.
I'm not joking. I'm being very serious.
She's probably making it up.
Yeah, of course. You know what happened, though, if you believe it? You know what happened when that toilet paper roll hit her in the head wopple?
What?
She started to cry.
Oh, no.
That's mean. That is
sitting
mean.
on the toilet crying, girl.
Been there.
Get out of there.
Have you guys been there sitting on the toilet and crying?
Oh, heck yeah.
No.
Just like 2 days ago I was there.
Oh, no.
What?
John.
I don't know if I've ever sat on a toilet and cried.
I have
Me
never.
either.
Oh, you have?
I
You
have?
texted me about it. It was 2 weeks after I sat on the toilet and cried harder than I've cried in a long time.
I mean, I was certainly in a state of distress.
That's panic. It's sheer panic.
It was.
I don't want to go to the hospital for this, but I might have to go to have them help me.
That was more straight up fear. Yeah, I thought I was going to die.
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was on the toilet the other day. I'm not joking, like I'm being so serious right now. So I'm at his house, there's no toilet paper. I'm like, yeah, hey, baby, could you grab some toilet paper? He said no. I already told you I don't have toilet paper, sorry.
Micro machines.
I loved those commercials. The Micro Machine guy.
That guy had talent.
Heck yeah, he did.
That guy had talent. And I think he died. But I think everybody dies.
If you were going to get
Well,
the
what I mean by that, of course, everybody
does die.
I assume everyone is dead, and then they're not dead. Yes, Josh.
If you gave the eulogy, do you think people would think it was funny if you talked like he did in the commercials?
Boy,
that'd be the first thing I'd think of.
That would be clever, yeah.
And I would assume people would go, okay, that was good. But
See
maybe
that?
not. What was that?
I had,
Was
a
that a
pubic
spider?
hair, I had a pubic hair on the bill of my baseball cap.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, that'd be a clever bit to eulogize the Micro Machine guy by speaking. He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he did pass away. Well, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
I think he did.
A while ago.
What else would we say about this lady? Yeah, she started to cry. She says that this was the craziest thing that has ever happened to her.
Not much going on, huh?
Yeah.
He's alive.
Oh, no way.
I thought he was dead, too.
I thought he was, too.
I'm just batting 1,000.
No, hey, we were right there with you, man.
Okay.
I got to, let me double check this.
Constantly killing people.
Well, this is a rarity. Well, no, it isn't. This is how it always plays. I'm sorry. This is how it always plays out. I assume someone is dead and they're alive. I don't know what my problem is. Again, sorry, I blew up.
Well, that's great news.
Yeah, it is. Make folks feel better about it. So when this gal dumped this information, and I'm not trying to be cute with that, when this gal dumped this story on social media, other folks went ahead and told their stories of funny reasons they broke up with someone. A couple of them are pretty decent. I like this one. A young lady says, I broke up with my college boyfriend because he wouldn't stop calling me bro.
That's funny.
Hey, bro. Want to go out for some beers? I'm not your freaking bro. I'm your girlfriend. I dig that. That's funny. Oh, God. Gal broke up with a dude because when she got together with his family, he would kiss all of his family members on the lips.
That would weird me out.
I know some cultures that's
normal.
It's common.
Right.
I wonder if that's a situation here or
she doesn't say anything about a cultural thing. That would be, I would understand that, of course. Who wouldn't? Okay, that's your thing. But I'm not into that. I've always assumed those kissy people to be very squirrely. There's something going on with those kissy people, especially when you're kissing your mom on the mouth and whatnot.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
I'm not a physically affectionate person, so that kind of creeps me out.
This gal said,
like you said, but if it's the culture thing,
yeah. There's a difference between one and the other. This gal says her boyfriend's mother's lipstick would be all over his face.
Oh, weird.
Jesus. This is weirdly specific, but one gal broke up with a dude because he wouldn't stop talking about black holes. Like the ones in outer space, Ski. He would talk endlessly for hours about them. What the hell's going on there?
I'll have a little conversation with him, maybe. Not for hours, but sounds kind of interesting.
Woo-wee. Here's a gal broke up with a dude because he had the same first name as her brother.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I don't believe you.
That'd be so weird.
A buddy of mine,
you get over it.
Yeah, I can't imagine I'd even notice.
At first, you'd be like, "Oh, that's kind of strange," but come on, we're talking about like a good guy, a good-looking guy. He's good to you.
We'd never go on a date in the first place.
He pins you.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime I matched with somebody,
You've got like 4 brothers, or how many brothers?
I have 5. But anytime, their names would pop up on like Hinge or Tinder, even if they seemed like good stuff, I'd veto.
Are you serious?
I can't say that name in bed.
We don't have to say the name.
I'm a vocal person.
Why do you got to
Who
say
says
their
the name of the person they're with in bed? It's always other people's.
I don't
wishful thinking.
there. I've been a whore my whole life. I don't think I've ever said the other person's name in bed.
Really? Wow.
We know who each other are.
That's surprising.
Why do I have to say your name? Why do you have to say my name?
Yeah, I've never done that either.
Really? That's interesting to me.
I think I'd feel weird doing it. I know it's a common deal, but
That's strange that you were that dismissive so quickly, Ashley, just because they have the same name as your brother.
So a friend of mine's sister is now engaged to a guy that has the same name as he does. And she wanted her fiance, to take her last name. So there'd be 2 guys with the exact same last name, and he had a problem with that.
That's a fun bit.
Yeah, people will break up for this. They'll break up for that reason. Yeah, this gal again. He had the same first name as my brother. How am I supposed to moan that during sex? Again, I've had some encounters in my life. No woman's ever moaned my name.
Yeah, me neither.
That's so strange to me.
Is it really like it's strange?
Yeah, like I'm just in disbelief.
So you always use names when you're in the Donnie, Missy.
Yeah.
That's like out of a 50s movie to me.
Isn't it common that they do that to you as well?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, granted, maybe these women are not moaning my name because I'm giving them zero pleasure. Before those text messages start rolling in, that's very possible. To me, that's like movie stuff. Oh, Linda. Oh, Reginald. What are we doing here? That's never come into play. How about a gal that all this is gals dumping dudes? Well, I'm not surprised by that because we're big stupid animals. This gal dumped a dude because his nose hairs were too long.
Just get him some clippers.
God, I hate that bit. I've never been any good at that, trying to keep the nose hairs down. I bought one of those battery-powered sumbitches that swims around your nose canals.
Yeah, those are great.
Oh, great. Jesus criminy, I thought I was going to go to the emergency room. I don't know, maybe I had it in backwards or something, but it hurt like hell and I was bleeding like a son of a bitch.
You were bleeding?
Yes.
I don't think you're supposed to bleed.
I don't think you
Well, of course I'm not supposed to bleed. No, it was terrible.
What were you doing?
I jammed it up my nose like the friggin' directions told me to, and it hurt, but I bled. I wanted to call the company. I wanted to.
I've never had an issue.
Me neither.
I wanted to talk to the manager.
They're usually very gentle. Are you sure you used the right one?
Don't
not
know.
like a hedge clipper or
like
something?
I said, I might have put it in backwards, but I threw the damn thing in the garbage right away.
Did it say Craftsman on the side?
No. I don't know what happened. I'm just telling you. I threw it away. Maybe my nose hairs are extra coarse. I don't know.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
You do have a thicker scrotum than normal, and I'd imagine it would take a thicker hair to get through that. I'll try anything twice, Jesus said. Girls always moan my name in bed. My name is already.
Dude's nose hairs were too long. She couldn't handle it.
There's a few folks that agree with you, Ashley. You cannot have the same name as a parent or a sibling. Somebody else said if you don't say people's names in the sack, you're a weirdo.
You're too hung up. People are too hung up on this. That's. I don't know why we're using names back and forth.
I think I was in trouble if my wife says my name. Oh, what did I do? You never call me. You never call me Josh. I'm in trouble now.
If she used my first and middle name, then I would know I was definitely in trouble, because that's how my mom used to really scold me. When I knew I really messed up, it was my first and middle name.
In bed?
In bed with your mom?
That's gross,
she
man.
She would scold you in
Like, what kind of stuff would she say? You're a bad boy. I'm your mom.
Oh, God.
You shouldn't be doing this with me. I'm your mother.
I just can't think of one time in my life where names came into play.
Yeah, I've never been in that situation.
In a sexual situation, I just can't think of one time.
And I've had sex with ones of women.
I did call a girlfriend by the wrong name in the car once. That was fun.
Oh, I bet that was a blast.
Well, it's actually, and I should give you some backstory on this. If I was ever in a car or anywhere with a girlfriend, and I just simply called her by the wrong name, like, hey, Penelope, do you want to go to McDonald's? And Penelope was my ex-girlfriend, not the girl who was sitting next to me, okay? If she ever got mad at me for that, then that's her problem, okay? Sorry, I called you by the wrong name. Again, you guys know where I stand on jealousy and things like that. I'm sorry to tell you, but I did have a life before you, okay? Right? You see where I'm going with that?
Yes.
I hate that stuff where people just get so upset if you even talk about your ex. What do you want me to do? Just eliminate that part of my life? Never bring it up? That's not normal. So if I just smooth up, accidentally called her by the wrong name in a conversation about McDonald's and she got upset with me, then that would be her problem, and F you, okay? In this situation where I called the girl by the wrong name, it was really bad timing because I was with this girl, let's call her Penelope. So I'm with Penelope. We're at a social event, and we happen to run into one of my ex-girlfriends. Her name, Belinda, right? Belinda. And Penelope and Belinda, Penelope, my current girlfriend, they did not hit it off, which was just ridiculous because they're both very nice people. For whatever reason, I don't think it was me. I mean, what the hell are you fighting over this for? Somewhere in a conversation, Penelope and Belinda had a difference of opinion. I wasn't there to see the trouble start, but trouble started. And suddenly, Penelope really wasn't excited that we ran into Belinda and vice versa. So eventually Penelope and I leave the bar and we're going home. And that was when I said, hey, Belinda, do you want to swing through Subway? You see what I'm saying? So there was a conflict that evening between so when she got mad at me for calling her the wrong name, I understood. And
absolutely.
You see where I'm going with that? So
tensions are already high.
Out of nowhere, that's ridiculous. So what? I called you by the wrong name. If you called me by the wrong name in a harmless conversation, so what? But in my particular situation, the one time I made that mistake, there was static between the two women an hour prior to the mistake that I made. So
the only time I've ever done that is out of frustration, where it was I used somebody else's name that I'm used to be frustrating with. It's very common that I'm frustrated with that person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what happened to my boyfriend when the very first fight, like actual fight we ever got into, he called me by his ex-girlfriend's name, and I was like, Well, I guess that's kind of a compliment. I guess
You're just not expecting to fight you.
Yeah.
Because you're too scared to fight you. Here's a member of the sisterhood that said they have a few examples in their family of people dating or marrying the same name. My brother married a girl with the same first and middle name as mine. My sister's first husband, he passed away. Her second husband had the same name. My sister-in-law married a man with the same name as her brother. They must have common names, she says.
That's funny. But Josh, can you imagine tonight getting in the sack with the old lady, and at one point or another you go, "Oh, Aaron."
No, I mean,
that was weird.
I'm lucky that there's not a lot of syllables there. You know, I could last through that. But yeah, no, I can't.
That's just so strange.
And I think even she'd be like, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing.
That's weird.
Yeah, I usually get a pretty good reaction to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like you make it sound like this is a regular practice. You use names regularly.
Yep.
Like with this, you've been with your boyfriend for a while now, longer than you were married, I think. Is that true?
Yeah, it is true.
I mean, it still goes on, and he still gets excited about it?
Yeah.
Do you do this when you're trying to wrap the session up and it's taking too long?
No.
Yeah, I can't imagine tonight. You know, just being all like, "Oh, Tara Reid," you know?
With the last name.
Of course I call her by her last name. I'm a gentleman.
You can't just say Tara. It could be anybody.
It's true.
Let's get the hell out of here. So later on this morning, well, not like all the way out of here, but just out of this particular situation and into a commercial break, we're going to talk to Marcus Foligno later, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum.
Let's get inside of my father, John Glover. You know, we watch talk film, and most of these episodes I never saw.
I didn't watch the show.
You never once saw yourself on Smallville?
In the beginning, I used to look at myself all the time and love to. And then as I get older, I stopped.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm older.
I was going to talk to you about that because you're 79?
Yeah.
How old do you feel?
11.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Wherever you listen. Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
You guys know. You know what we were talking about a handful of minutes ago? We were talking about reasons folks have broken up with a significant other. Some of the reasons are interesting. One of our dude listeners upped and texted this in. He said, you know, one of my ex-girlfriends broke up with me because she found out I was using meth for 2 years without her knowing. How stupid is that?
Some people are so tough to please.
Unbelievable.
So much better than the rest of us.
He says, no, I'm just kidding. I deserved it, but now I've been sober for 5 years, so I'm winning.
Oh, I thought he was kidding. I didn't mean to make light of his condition. Well, good for you. That's awesome. I bet that's tough to kick.
Don't worry about it. He's winning. Winning the game. All right, you bastards. Stupid news. Man, alcohol can really do a number on some folks. Really can. Especially when it's mixed in with some pre-existing mental shortcomings. You know, most of us, when we're drunk, we just become loud or horny or feisty or some combination thereof. But as you know, there are some that skip all that and go straight into Armageddon mode. Over this past weekend in Florida, a 41-year-old lady named Courtney Epps. I mean, she got effing blasted, and she came apart at the seams. She created quite an adventure for the cops down there. I'll tell you all about that. But by the time the whole disaster was over, she was urinating herself while singing gospel songs out loud. So she started the night by speeding up and down the neighborhood in her motor vehicle, real fast. 90 minutes, that doesn't count. 90 miles per hour 1 minute she was going, 120 the next. And all the while she was driving smooth into oncoming traffic too.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
She's lucky she didn't kill somebody or herself.
The cops dumped spike strips on her. The first time it didn't work. The second time it did, but she just kept it going. The tires on her vehicle peeled smooth off. She kept going. She went whipping by a stretch of marathon runners who were running down the side of the road. Somehow, luckily, she managed not to kill everyone involved in that. Eventually, she crashed, and the cops were able to take her drunk ass into the police station. And here's the really scary stuff. After all that madness on the road, when they got her pulled over, she didn't respond at all to any verbal commands. She just stared straight ahead in total silence.
You know, we were just talking about this type of drunk the other day. Saw one Friday at Toys for Tatas, and that is creepy because you don't know what's going on up there.
Mm-hmm. Those are the scariest kind of drunks.
Yes, totally agree.
She finally did say something to the cops on the side of the road, and that was when she told them she would be refusing to take a field sobriety test because, quote, God the Father told her not to. And cops were freaked out enough to where they took her to the hospital. And while they were over there, she full-on peed in her pants and began singing gospel songs louder than hell. Then she fell asleep, and then she woke up again and sang some more. And then she fell back asleep, and then she woke up again and had a conversation with herself. But they got her into a jail cell. She's probably going to be in big trouble. But what I find interesting is that there's no mention of drugs anywhere in this story. So I'll go ahead and assume this was all alcohol related, which doesn't completely surprise me because we've all seen people before where alcohol put them in a state that you'd never imagine alcohol alone could take somebody or could put somebody. It can be damn frightening.
I mean, I've been drunk, but I've never been crooning gospel songs drunk. Not yet, at least.
If I ever was, I'd be concerned because sober me doesn't know any gospel songs. So if drunk me knew some gospel songs, that'd be a little terrifying.
Well, you weren't a churchgoer growing up,
no,
right?
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it can do some things too.
You get a pass.
Some folks.
I mean, not a pass to heaven because you won't be going to one. But you get a pass for not knowing the song.
I appreciate that.
All right, next up here in the stupid news is this effing ridiculous fight. There's a video going round and round. This effing ridiculous fight that took place at a McDonald's restaurant in the middle of nowhere's Canada. I watched this entire 6-minute video of this dumbass fight, and let me tell you, it's exhausting to watch because it might very well be the stupidest 6 minutes in effing human history. Before we get into it, again, I'd like to note that it's a Canadian video, but it does come off very American simply because it's grown folks acting like little bitches at a fast food restaurant. Throw in some political nonsense and a ridiculous conspiracy theory, and these folks are instant American citizens. But here's the deal. I'm sure Josh has plenty of audio from this stupid fight we can listen to because one of the dudes involved almost never stops talking. Well, the main moron involved almost never stops talking the entire video. Like, he knew he was being recorded by his cell phone, so he more or less narrates the video.
I've got zero audio from the. I honestly didn't think that you'd want to hear it.
Oh, fair enough.
I'd play it for you, but I remember there being some cuss words in there, and don't want to take the risk.
Yeah, there's some cursing. The deal is, a grown effing man with a beard who was very likely insane. He lost his effing mind at McDonald's somewheres in Nova Scotia because he got a donkey with his Happy Meal instead of the Pokemon cards he was expecting.
You expect that from adult for sure.
Yeah.
And before it was all said and done, he ended up getting in And in my opinion, this was Canada's all-time sissiest fist fight. And the video is remarkable to watch these guys brawl.
Yeah, I remember thinking, these guys all grew up playing hockey. How do they not know how to fight?
It's absolutely horrible. But it's really frustrating to watch. For whatever reason, this effing dullard wanted his stupid-ass Pokemon cards, and no explanation from the restaurant manager was good enough for him. He threatened legal action against McDonald's. At one point, he yells, "McDonald's! I want to press charges on McDonald's."
Good luck with that.
It was a criminal offense to him.
The other day, I got a kid's meal from there, and they didn't give me a toy, but they gave me extra fries. But it was a little sad.
That's a win.
Yeah, I'd take the extra fries with the tie all the time.
They looked at me and were like, "Yeah, I don't think she needs a toy."
I knew this video was going to be trouble because if I remember right, one of the guys was wearing a Josh Allen jersey, and I thought, uh-oh.
Oh, really?
That guy's trouble.
Oh, man.
Now, one of my favorite parts of the video is a woman who's at the restaurant. She's filming this meltdown. She tells the man, "You're behaving worse than my disabled children." The dude causing all the trouble, he disagrees with that statement. And he claims that he's being targeted. And then, by God, another customer gets involved. The next guy was very Canadian. He said buddy a lot and mate. And next thing you know, the Pokemon dork and the other customer are throwing what have to be the softest punches in Canadian history. I'm telling you, there have been pillow fights at sorority houses that did more damage than these two effing plugs. There were some chairs thrown. It was awful. Don't get me wrong, it's funny, but it's just so stupid that it was difficult to watch. How is it that these things are happening in real life?
It's reminiscent of the Szechuan sauce. Remember that craze? That's what it was, right? The Szechuan sauce?
Yep.
People were going insane for it. It was going for ridiculous prices on eBay. Folks were fighting to get it.
Remember when Popeyes had the crispy chicken sandwiches that everyone was fighting over too?
Oh, was that the first one? Yeah, the hot chicken sandwiches or spicy chicken sandwiches?
Yep.
Do we have this video up on our website?
Yes.
You got to see the fight. I mean, the whole thing. I know it's 6 minutes, and I've mentioned more than once it's frustrating, but I think you got to get a look at it. I thought Canadians were in better shape than we are as far as general citizen behavior. I guess
they get that reputation.
Maybe I was wrong for the first time in my life. But the fist fight, oh my damn. These two guys are terrible. Terrible at it.
Please tell me the guy in the Josh Allen jersey eventually won the 6-minute fight.
There was no friggin'
Nobody
winner.
won.
No one won.
There
was a
was
loser.
absolutely no way to name a winner in the worst fight in Canadian history.
I think we're honestly the losers for watching it.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's often the case, isn't it?
As Nick said, it was like 6 minutes, and half of it sideways, so you have to kind of turn your head to watch it.
I mean, the good guy, Josh mentioned he's wearing a Buffalo Bills jersey. The good guy, you want to root for him, right? Mm-hmm. But at one point during the video, the crazy Pokemon guy says something like, "Are you going to do something?" And the good guy, Josh Allen jersey guy says something along the lines of, "I'm a wild dog, bro."
Oh, no. Don't say that.
No, but go ahead and say that. Fine. It's obnoxious, but go ahead and say that if you can back it up. "I'm a wild dog," he says. A minute later, I mean, it more or less looked like he was brushing the guy's hair. That's what he called punches. It was so bad.
More like a wild chihuahua.
One of the comments on YouTube said, "As a Bills fan, I'm ashamed. That was embarrassing, and we're used to embarrassment."
Go ahead and make a statement like that, but by damn, when the fight begins, you better be Bruce Lee, dude. But instead it was like, it was like Herbert the Pervert and the Nazi fight from Family Guy.
Love that fight.
And the 118-year-old Nazi against Herbert the Pervert fight from Family Guy. That's what it reminded me of.
It takes about 15 minutes.
And then one of their alarms go off on their watches. They got to take some medication.
Uh-huh.
They got to go. Okay. You guys hang out on Reddit now and again?
Yeah, every once in a while.
I know what it's like. You check out the Reddit Gone Wild porno pictures.
Well, you were obsessed for a while.
I forgot about that.
You threaten complete strangers who have a differing opinion than you. I know how it goes on social media. I know how it all works.
That took your life for a little bit, Nick.
I loved Reddit Gone Wild porno pictures.
Yeah, you did.
I would look at it all day.
Mm-hmm.
What was the one, like, Drop 'em Tuesday or something like that? There's...
Oh, no, that's on the Chive.
Oh, I thought it was Reddit.
No.
Where they pick up their
Chive
shirt and it just kind of bounces out. The Chive has porn on there? Or like nudity?
No.
Not nudity, but...
Yeah, this was like girls would pick up their shirt and they'd fall out. I know somebody could text it. I know somebody was telling me about it, that it's like a real big deal on Reddit.
I thought you were talking about like Mind the Gap Wednesday or Under Boob Tuesday.
Yeah, they do,
On the Chive?
They do love the
Yeah.
under boob on the Chive.
Yeah.
I don't remember the themes and whatnot from Reddit Gone Wild porno, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. It took up a lot of my days. So anyway, Reddit. A lot of folks go there, of course, for the attention. So, you better come up with something good, right? Here's a dude who went too far in the eyes of the Reddit content police, or, whatever the term might be, the folks who try to police the material on Reddit. Reddit has banned this individual. And that is because he apparently smashed an energy drink popsicle up his own bottom.
I like butt chugging stuff personally.
That's what the story says here. Now then. The word is this effing clown. I'm going to try to say this out loud because I never thought I'd have to in my entire life. He was experimenting with ways to reinvent the experience of drinking energy drinks by turning the drinks into other things. So he created a Monster energy drink popsicle.
I'd try it.
And then he went backyard on himself with it.
Would
Not
you try that?
part, though. Nope.
You wouldn't try that?
No.
Boofing is the term they used in the story. Boofing.
Yep.
I'm glad we have a term for it.
Oh, so sticky.
Sounds like somebody knows from experience.
Now, you might be wondering who would do something like that, and I have an answer. The guy goes by the online name of Limp D. Calvin.
Okay.
Of course he does, right? I wouldn't expect any other name.
Yeah.
For a guy who's supposedly jamming a Limp D. Calvin.
Does he know that he can pick his own name and not his friends?
Maybe his friends did pick it. I don't know. It's attention grabbing.
It definitely is.
So Limp D. Calvin claims to have turned a Monster energy drinky drink into a popsicle, and then he cornholed himself with it. Or he's just making a bunch of noise so he can be a hero to the rest of his 10th grade class. You never know. But again, this was supposedly some kind of an experiment to find out whether or not freezing Monster energy drinks would lower the efficacy of the caffeine. Now, do you want to hear some of what Calvin posted about his experience boofing himself with a frozen energy drink?
It'd be a shame if we didn't know.
These are the words of Limp D. Calvin. I felt like I was being possessed by a frost demon. However, I felt absolutely electrified, like my blood was made of energy drink itself.
Okay, dude.
I don't know if it was the freezing cold or the rapid absorption of caffeine through my colon or both. Calvin also said he loved the experience. He wants to do it regularly now. He went on to say, after he jammed a frozen popsicle up his... He said, it's been 3 hours since I did it, and I still feel like $1,000. I feel like all my brain fog is gone, and if I wanted to, I could teach myself how to do commercial real estate in like 6 hours of research. I feel like my brain is limitless. He also said, this is a completely serious post. I actually did this. Redditors, folks who hang out there, were initially concerned for Limp D. Calvin, but most folks didn't care what happened to him at all, and they shouldn't. Limp D. Calvin had his Reddit account deleted shortly after he promised to post a video of this.
Oh.
I'm sorry to tell you, as far as I know, the video never made it. They gassed him before he had a chance to put the video up there. And we close out here. Great statement here by Limp D. Calvin. He said he planned on blurring out his face and his beehole before he posted the video.
That's good. Thank you for that.
Now, when some other dork on Reddit asked Limp D. Calvin why he would need to blur out his beehole,
that's what I'm wondering.
Calvin said, well, I don't want anyone to figure out my identity.
It's pretty funny.
He shows everyone his beehole.
Yeah, I also thought it was funny when he was talking about how he chose the angle for, quote, maximum torque, things like that. By the way, the all-knowing, hilarious, and maybe even perverted brother and sisterhood, they checked in on what I was thinking about the boobs. I thought there was like a thing they did on Gone Wild, but I guess it's a whole separate Reddit thread, and I got to clean it up for radio, but let's just call it booby drop.
Oh.
Right? That's what they call it. That's not on the Chive.
Oh.
I've never seen anything like that on the Chive.
Boy, I forgot all about that. I'm ashamed to say this, but for whatever reason, I stopped looking at the Reddit Gone Wild porno. Something must have happened, a tragic moment in my life or something like that, where I stopped, and now I don't remember how to get back there.
If you just Google it, I'm sure you'll find it.
But Josh, I remember I thought you gave me some kind of a lifetime password or something that you found somewhere. Do you have to?
Oh, no, you don't have to. There's no subscription.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm...
that I'm aware of.
Fair enough.
At least back then when I set it up for you, it was just you just have an account.
I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the internet. You guys know that.
Stand-up comic girl Sheeza said she once snorted a Red Bull on a podcast. I bet that was very stinging.
Oh, most definitely.
I had a buddy who bonged a Red Bull once, and he's kind of like you, Nick, where he kind of has some heart issues, you know?
You mean he chugged it?
No, he put it in a beer bong.
Oh, bong, you said. I thought you said bomb.
Oh,
okay.
I thought that too.
He bonged it, yes.
Yeah, he put a Red Bull in a beer bong and chugged it, you know, as like, hey, look at me, let's go. And then all of a sudden, like, his heart was racing, and he needed help.
That's awful.
He knew he had a heart problem ahead of time?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
but
real
that
bright
idea.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's cleaned himself up, though. He's good now.
I used to shotgun Red Bulls as like a part of like when I was a server, you'd have like those before work meetings, and at the end of the meeting, it was a thing. I'd shotgun a couple Red Bulls and go on with the day.
You know my freaking new wife?
Yeah.
What? I don't understand the tone, but yeah, go ahead.
She's got a set of parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her dad is 87 years old or something like that. And the other day, they live out of town, but the last time she was hanging out with her folks, her dad's sitting in front of the television drinking a 24-ounce Monster Energy drink or something.
What?
He's
No.
87 years old. She said, what the hell are you doing?
What? Does he know it has caffeine in it?
Well, he goes, I like the taste. She said, Jesus, what the hell?
Dude.
If he likes the taste, you just do it out of necessity, don't you?
I don't know if he knew what he was getting himself into, but she said, look, you're an old man. You can't be banging your heart with 6 cups of coffee at a time. You know,
I used to drink them every day on my way into work, but now I'm maybe once every couple months. Those Monster rehabs, so good.
But you know what he said to her? You know what her 87-year-old dad said to her? He said, whatevs, and then he got on a skateboard and he got the hell out of there. And he went over to the X Games.
I'd imagine his hat was tilted sideways just a little bit.
The brim so flat you could rest a effing totally flat brim.
I'm out of here, brah.
I'm out. All right, where are we now? The cops over there in Thailand recently captured a 37-year-old escaped prisoner. That's exciting stuff, I bet. The prisoner, a fella by the name of Thanafat. He actually escaped from a hospital, not the prison that he was locked up in. I'll explain all this for you. Thanafat serving a sentence for, the word they use here is just simply theft. Thanafat's in jail for theft. He had been taken smooth out the prison and admitted to a hospital a few days ago. My assumption is the prison must not have its own hospital, or it's not equipped to deal with what Thanafat had cooking. And that's where I'm going with this. Thanafat, and I believe this was all legit. There's nothing in the story that indicates he was lying about this. He had to be taken out of the prison and put in a hospital because he was suffering from a serious infection caused by some penis enlargement injections he had shot into his dong. I bet that's uncomfortable, huh?
I can't even imagine.
Something a procedure he must have went through with before he got to the cooler, and then suddenly his dong is infected. They had to put him in the hospital. He underwent pecker surgery in the hospital, and he was recovering when he got the bright idea to cut himself loose and get the hell out of there. You know, he's thinking, now's my chance. He cut the chains around his ankles using a pair of pliers, and he gone. Local cops went looking for this well-hung sumbitch, and they weren't too worried about it. They were pretty sure he couldn't have gone far because, as the story puts it here, Thanafat still had a urine tube inserted into his penis. Oof. And sure as hell, they found the sorry-ass bastard right down the street. He did not get far. You can't run very fast and very far with, what do they call that gimmick?
Catheter?
Catheter. So there goes Thanafat and his giant tallywhacker back into the Stony Lonesome, where he's got 1 year and 10 months to go before he can flash that new store-bought Johnson to someone other than, convicted male criminals. He tried, didn't he, Cubby?
He did his best. But yeah, like you said, if you got a tube in there, you're going to be moving slow. I thank goodness I've never had one of those. I can't imagine.
I've heard they're not fun.
How stingy that is for women too. Is it? It's got to be painful for both.
Yeah, I've only heard from the men's perspective. That does not sound ideal.
I know some dudes who have worn the catheter around town, and no, they have told me it is, despite what you've heard, it is not fun and games.
I had to get scoped down there, and that was really, really bad. I can't imagine having to keep it in longer than they did.
Yeah, we're all probably going to have to wear one before it's all said and done. Every damn last one of us is going to have to. All right, I love this next story. I really do. Some solid police work. I get to tell you about, this is great, some solid police work, by God, and an interesting story, no doubt. Cops in Italy. They noticed something strange going on at a neighborhood barber shop in town. Town called Genoa, just for the record. The cops noticed something strange going on at the local barber shop. The cops noticed that a hell of a lot of bald and beardless men were going in and out of the town's barber shop.
Coming out of it is understandable, but wait, going in?
And sure as hell, the cops looked into it, and the barber shop, the damn barber was in there dealing drugs.
Yeah, that's a good cop to pick up on something. I would never even think about it.
Coolest thing I've heard all week. The story says that the cops knew there were a lot of drugs being dealt in town. They just didn't know where the dope was coming from. Who's selling the dope? Where's it coming from? Everyone in town is high. Where's the dope? They set up surveillance teams here and there. One of the teams reported an unusually high number of bald, beardless men visiting the barbershop, which was operated by a 55-year-old dude. All the men going in and out, they all had one thing in common. They didn't appear to need a haircut or a shave. Why is this guy going in there? He ain't got a lick of hair on his head. The barber was dealing hashish and cocaine. Well, prisons need barbers too, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
That's great. I bet you, Josh, they could have put me on that job for a good year, and I never would have friggin' thought of that.
Nope. I could be in there getting my head shaved, and I wouldn't think about it.
I dig it.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It's Sunday Night Football, so you've got two studs here. See a lot of action. Sack comparison for these guys. Big. Hunter got in there, and I think still looking for that tight end. Just got a piece. Start slow, then he finished quicker. As Brandon Graham is able to get in there. So they work the middle, but not deep enough. Harris Harrison Smith penetrates too deep. Gurley with a big hole right in his face.
Al, all I can say is BAM!
A mouth on that guy.
I know.
I'll tell you what.
He just found out he's not going to be doing any postseason football calls. Al Michaels.
Yeah, I saw that, Cubby. Are you disappointed?
I like Al Michaels. I know he gets a lot of crap lately, but I genuinely like him quite a bit. I mean, obviously he's a legend in the business, and
people get so wound up about who calls the games. I'm burned out on that friggin' argument. But yeah, there was some announcement yesterday where Al Michaels won't be calling any playoff games.
And I guess the reason it's a bigger news story is that was news to Al Michaels, who thought he was going to be doing it. As a matter of fact, he said, well, no, it's in my contract, I'll be doing it, and found out that's not the case. He's not going to be doing it. Yeah.
They're cold over there at NBC.
He does sound bored. I mean, the Thursday night football games have been notoriously bad.
Yeah.
But he really does sound like there's a lot of times he'd rather be anywhere else than whatever stadium he's calling the game in.
Well, there you go. I mean, some bitch is 79 years old. Can you believe that? 79 years old. Here's the deal. I'd love to thrill you with all kinds of wild stories of athletic accomplishments, but nothing happened last night. Kind of a dead spot here in all of our favorite clubs' schedules, but it's okay. I don't mind a little downtime. I know last night the Golden Gopher basketball team beat the living hell out of whoever IUPUI is. Well, we actually talked about who they are. They're Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. But Golden Gopher scored 101 points last night.
To 65, right?
To 65.
Wasn't it the score?
It was unbelievable. Just smashed their brains in. We got another story about this little baby bitch, Draymond Green, losing his mind on the basketball.
What's wrong with that guy?
It's a joke.
They just put a diaper on him. You know, he's just a little kicking, screaming child is what he is. We'll get into that with Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. And also in a half hour, Marcus Foligno from the Man Bear Pigs going to join us on the program. We got plenty to cover then. Josh's News coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
You loved Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now get to know her on Give Them Lala.
I don't know that I would call it respect that I have for Sandoval, but the world hated him. He still went out, performed shows with his head held high. He showed up to the reunion when we all were going after him. Like, he didn't skip a beat. The way he's handling it, if I were in his position, and I said it straight up to the entire audience, thousands of people, I would tell you all to and the room was dead.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
He shoved my roommate into the wall. My roommate stabbed him twice, pretty shallow. He had something in his mouth.
I'm going to play the rest of that clip in a minute or so, but for now, let me just tell you that what that man had in his mouth is pretty entertaining. Some neighbors in the Park Hill community, and terrifying at the same time, in the Park Hill community of Denver are on high alert after they say a man's been breaking into their homes and stealing items, mostly women's underwear.
Ooh, Josh, can we guess what he had in his mouth?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Try to guess.
Yeah,
well,
please do.
Go ahead. You tell the story as far as you'd like to, and then we'll go ahead and guess.
All right, I'll get up to.
He's breaking into houses.
He is. Yeah, he's stealing panties for the most part.
Oh God! No.
As a matter of fact, they are calling him the Park Hill Panty Thief.
He totally passed over money, medications, like PlayStation, computers. Didn't even grab any of that.
He wasn't interested in that because what he did steal was panties, and then things got strange. The woman said her roommate grabbed a knife and approached the man, which led to a physical altercation. That's part of what she said in the clip there. Then things got weird. All right, go for your guesses. Who wants to guess what was in his mouth?
I'd like to guess first because I'm almost certain I got this nailed. He had a tampon in his mouth.
Okay, who else?
Some sort of sex toy.
I was going to say vibrator.
You're going to say vibrator?
Yeah, like one of those little mini ones.
I already know.
Well, let's see.
He shoved my roommate into the wall. My roommate stabbed him twice, pretty shallow. He had something in his mouth. It was a sexual toy.
Nick nailed it.
Told you guys.
Nick got it. The rest of you had no idea what was in his mouth.
I'm so dumb.
I told you friggin' guys.
Yes, he had some sort of dildo or vibrator in his mouth.
I know where I went wrong. I have a tampon in my mouth.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
I thought that was a white cigar.
No.
She said the police were called. He ran, but he did come back 3 weeks later. Then Saturday, a post from a neighbor on the Nextdoor app told a similar story.
The window was wide open. There was no screen, which I thought was really weird because every time we leave the house, I always make sure the windows are closed. And as I was looking through my drawers, I noticed that all my underwear had gone missing.
Neighbors say they're terrified to sleep at night and are hoping the man will be caught soon.
So he had one of the gal's vibrators in his yap.
Yeah.
These chicks are cool.
You got to be a pretty prolific undie stealer to get a nickname about how good you are at stealing undies.
Well, yeah, and I shortened the clip, but the woman did say they had a whole box full of them.
Holy cow.
And he just went over there and picked his favorite and popped it right in his yapper.
These chicks are cool.
Several people suspected of attaching a chain to a pickup truck and then dragging away a Roseville Bank's ATM were arrested a few hours later early yesterday.
I bet they never thought they'd be caught.
Well, you know what? I don't think they ever thought they would because they've been getting away with it. This happened after they did the stealing, there was a standoff at a nearby hotel. The FBI is looking into the incident because it has the hallmarks of a Texas-based hook and chain gang, which has been pulling off these heists elsewhere in Minnesota and other states.
It's, for the most part, organized crime. These groups, they'll travel from state to state. They typically tend to be based in New York and Los Angeles. But we've also got groups coming in from Mexico.
Police responded about 4 a.m. to an alarm at a Great Southern Bank location in Roseville and then saw a pickup yanking an ATM out of the ground, which could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, if not more.
An ATM, even a small one in a convenience store, could easily, contain $20,000 to $50,000. The drive-in ATMs at a bank could be over $200,000.
The driver fled, soon crashed, however, bad driver, allowing police to capture one of the suspects quite easily. But the other four ran and holed up in the nearby Key Inn. That standoff ended about 7:30 a.m. with the four arrested without further incident. This criminal tactic has been employed in recent years with increasing prevalence, and it was used just in August and September in Wisconsin, Georgia, and Alabama. A national business consulting firm based in Oregon, Cook Solutions Group, said to prevent hook and chain ATM attacks, various strategies and security measures are deployed, such as installing anti-ramming bollards, using reinforced ATM enclosures, and enhancing surveillance in ATM locations.
What a nightmare.
Yeah, I guess it's been working in certain places, so they keep it up.
I've definitely gone to the ATM before. And have you ever just checked out and been like, how do some people do that?
Say again now?
How do
when
they
you
do?
go to the ATM, 'cause you hear stories about people stealing ATMs and all that. And I'm just like, how do you get away with this? These things are huge.
I can show you how.
An insurance adjuster who admitted to using her job to access information on potential robbery targets and then provided her accused co-conspirators with fake police gear will spend years behind bars. 28-year-old Jasmine Weber used her role as a claims adjuster to access a database and identify potential robbery targets after alleged members of the crime ring provided her with identifying information about their potential victims. Utilizing that database and knowing the co-conspirators' intentions, she researched the intended victims and located their home addresses, the press release said. Members of the conspiracy then committed robberies at those locations. Weber purchased equipment, including sheriff's vests and other items she knew would be used in the commission of the crimes, which, according to prosecutors, at times turned violent. The robberies committed at some of the residences resulted in victims being beaten, pistol whipped, or even shot.
Oh, my God.
In addition to jail time, she was sentenced to 3 years of supervised release, and she'll be required to participate in a substance abuse program and mental health treatment program.
So she was that person on the inside.
Yeah, she had all the info on where to find some of the targets and who had the most bread.
That's terrible.
A former Connecticut police officer accused of committing dozens of burglaries across at least 3 states is facing additional charges stemming from a break-in at a restaurant. Patrick Hemingway, who once worked for Glastonbury's police department, was arrested a week ago today for allegedly breaking into the Loco Pero restaurant. Authorities were called to the eatery after a burglar busted into the building and triggered an alarm. Security cameras inside captured an unidentified person lifting an estimated $200 in cash from the register before fleeing the scene. Less than 10 minutes later, that same suspect was spotted on separate surveillance video recorded outside a bar and grill. Police say he attempted to pick the lock, though he was unsuccessful. Authorities were eventually able to link the break-ins to Hemingway, who had undergone training at the Glastonbury Police Department earlier that same day. Investigators say he logged into a police database at least 80 times to see if he was being investigated by other police departments. He's also accused of carrying out more than 30 burglaries in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, as well as Connecticut, between February and June this year. Police across several agencies are investigating to determine whether he was involved in any other burglaries in their area as well. This guy was busy.
Yeah, no kidding. That just sounds stressful.
Ooh-wee.
A campus security supervisor at a California high school was arrested and charged with making and selling explosives on social media.
Jesus Christ.
And he did so with a partner, and that partner was a student.
Oh, no.
The 27-year-old used an Instagram account to sell explosives, then mailed them to residents of other states, working closely with a high school student. The now former high school security officer pled guilty to conspiring to engage in manufacturing and dealing in explosive materials, mailing explosive devices, and making false statements to the FBI. FBI agents seized approximately 500 pounds of explosives from his residence, another 500 pounds of explosives from the juvenile's residence. The U.S. Attorney's Office said items used to make the explosives were also found in both homes.
You know what works every time, Cubby? When you make false statements to the FBI.
Oh, yeah.
That works
and they
every
never
time.
see it coming.
No.
They always assume you're going to be honest and truthful.
One of those high school security guard type characters.
Yeah, sounds that way.
Kind of reminds me of the time that high school teacher in New Mexico teamed up with his student to cook meth and become a drug kingpin.
No. That didn't work for him, did it?
No, in the long
end?
run, no, it didn't.
I can't say I understand the reference.
Breaking Bad.
Never saw it.
A woman was hospitalized last week after her robe caught fire during a live performance of The Glory of Christmas at her Michigan church. Oh, I'd take that as an omen. Plymouth Township Fire Chief Pat Conley said emergency responders were summoned to the house of worship shortly before 9 p.m. Thursday. Each year, organizers are required to pull a permit from the fire department and undergo inspection due to the pyrotechnics used during the church performance. This incident had nothing to do with the pyrotechnics at the show, according to Conley. It was just an unfortunate accident, he said. Someone put a candle in the wrong place, said Conley. The victim, a woman in her 40s, was on a riser when her robe brushed against the flame and caught fire right in the middle of the Christmas performance. On the church website, the show was billed as a creative retelling of the Christmas story told through an immersive, large-scale theatrical production that uses world-class special effects, full choirs and orchestras, dancers, flying angels, live animals, and powerful video. Sounds pretty sweet. A few others were treated for minor burns at the scene.
You're a fairly religious guy, right, Cubby?
Yeah, I'd say so.
You ever seen pyrotechnics at a Christmas show?
No.
You know,
they don't do that at a lot of Catholic churches, you know?
Small scale type of a...
That would probably get me to want to check that kind of stuff out more if I knew there was going to be pyro.
Yeah, some like Undertaker-style pyros.
Yeah.
They're really going for it.
Well, my wife, so she's Lutheran, and we'd go to like a couple of her churches, and that's... You know, I know some churches are different now as far as Catholics go, but there was the first time I ever saw like a rock concert. Mm-hmm. But they had like a full band, distortion, people are dancing and singing. We never had that.
That's
it was
pretty
just
cool.
the priest kind of singing poorly up front by himself.
Yeah.
You know, spraying some incense on folks and whatnot. Wild footage captured the moment two men began fighting each other with ladders in the middle of a London street. A neighbor recorded the scene from her apartment window.
Oh my God, I can't believe this dude is trying to get the flag off. Some random dude. Oh my God.
In the video, a man is seen using two ladders and a metal box to climb up a lamppost and remove a Palestinian flag. However, just moments after the man, who's wearing a beanie, makes it to the top, A driver passing by stops. He gets out of his car and kicks the metal box from underneath the man. After falling, the man with the beanie lashes out, throwing his ladder toward the driver. The driver attempts to kick the ladder, eventually grasping a hold of it as the beanie-wearing man retreats to grab a second ladder. A brawl quickly breaks out as the two men begin aggressively swinging the ladders at each other in the middle of the street.
That's hilarious.
The altercation eventually ended when a third person passing by grabbed a ladder from the man in the beanie, who at that point gave up and fled the scene. Police in London are investigating the incident. That video's on 93x.com. You don't see a lot of ladder fights, I gotta say.
I've never been in a ladder match.
When you said there was a ladder match going on in the street, I was kind of hoping WWE brought back the 24/7 belt. You know, where you had to be defended anywhere at all times. Somebody could come and ambush you and pin you in the middle of the street, and they'd win the belt from you.
Pretty much.
I'm in London, and this last match is happening.
Yeah, the 24/7 belt pretty much rejuvenated R-Truth's career, did it not?
Yeah.
I've always been a fan.
The city of St. Paul has been gradually replacing LED streetlights suffering from an unusual manufacturer's defect. They're turning blue or purple. Have you guys seen these yet?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I've noticed it on my way into work, and I thought maybe it was just a feature, or maybe it's like there's a emergency box on there, and that just indicated, hey, come here if you're in some trouble. But
they're supposed to just be regular white lights, and eventually they turn blue?
Or purple, yeah.
Purple.
The Autobahn series LED bulbs, which are failing prematurely at different times and rates, are installed across the city, and they started putting them in 2017. They cast a bluish or purple light as they begin to fail. We tend to notice a few more with the colder weather, said a spokesperson for St. Paul Public Works. The problems have been reported far and wide, including Charlotte, North Carolina, Topeka, Kansas, Vancouver, Canada, and Dublin, Ireland even. The city's street lighting system spans more than 37,000 light fixtures, 32,000 light poles. Luckily, not all of them received these particular bulbs. Residents can report their blue lights to have the bulb replaced with a non-defective light from the manufacturer by calling the city's Street Lights Division. More information is on the stpaul.gov website.
Well, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
When you go to their website, you just look for the heading, "Why are the street lights purple?" It's pretty funny. Some people love them. Some people think they're a nice addition to the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think that's cute.
Skull Viking kind of a thing.
Yeah. If you've ever pounded a bag of Doritos and then thought to yourself, you wish you could get drunk off the cheesy snack, you're in luck.
Oh, no way.
The Pepsi-owned brand is releasing a new alcohol based off of Doritos nacho cheese flavor, which, quote, tastes just like the real thing.
Oh.
The chip maker partnered with Empirical, a Danish company known for making custom spirits with creative flavors. The release said the spirit's flavor opens with a tangy aroma of nacho cheese, moving to the deeper corn-forward flavors, the chip, to finish on a soft, salty note. Available only online, the limited edition flavor goes on sale today and costs $65 a bottle.
Oh.
Whoa.
Since it's a flavored spirit and not a specific category of liquor, they recommend mixing it with a tequila or mezcal to make a Bloody Mary or a margarita. You can also, but although I thought they said it was like 84 proof, so you're getting a lot of alcohol for your money. The booze can be sipped neat or over ice, they said. It's not the first zany food-adjacent product from a big brand. Recently, Arby's turned its curly and crinkle fries into a vodka, as well as created a smoked bourbon to be paired with its roast beef.
So we're talking about a Doritos-flavored booze.
Yeah.
There's also Dorito-flavored wings here in Minnesota at Bricksworth. They have a one in Burnsville and Minneapolis. You can get Cool Ranch Dorito wings.
Oh, I bet those are fire.
They're very good.
Let me tell you this. You better start bringing mops to high school parties.
Barfing up this Dorito booze.
Dude, are you kidding me?
I bet that's not good coming back
If
up.
you're going to a high school party this weekend, just bring a mop and a bucket.
Oof.
A travel booking company is now giving Wonka fans the opportunity to stay in a Wonka-themed hotel suite for one night only. Ahead of the theater premiere Friday, Booking.com is celebrating the new film by offering two pairs of guests a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to live in what they say is a world of pure imagination. Wonka's suites are located at two hotels, one in New York, one in Los Angeles. They'll be up for grabs for a one-night stay starting today. Guests can expect edible amenities, life-size chocolate confections, Wonka's candy shop tree, a chocolate bar bed with marshmallows and cotton candy clouds and more. The guests will also receive tickets to see Wonka in theaters Friday. It's a deal that includes vintage Wonka posters, stamp wallpaper, and more goodies inspired by the film, and it's cheap. The 2 hotel rooms are available for only $12.15 a night. And it's a nod to the release date of the upcoming film Friday.
Well, damn.
That's cool and all, but Willy Wonka always freaked me out a little.
Well, you know what? Timothy Chalamet, as a matter of fact, I'll play a clip, says it's less creepy than the original as much as he loved the original. It tells the story of how Willy Wonka managed to change the world one delectable bite at a time.
This is different than the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka. We all grew up on that. I'm a huge fan of the original. But this is more of like an ambitious, joyous, optimistic, sensitive young Willy Wonka, not the sort of crazed chocolatier that we meet in those versions.
You do seem so honestly excited about this movie.
Yeah, it's the easiest movie I've ever been in to talk about because it just makes you feel great. It's joyous. It's the perfect holiday film. It leaves you with a smile on your face. It really does.
Timothy Chalamet, by the way, will be on Jimmy Fallon tonight.
Yeah, you know, if you saw the original Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder when you were a little kid and it didn't freak you out, then you're probably in an institution right now.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I really liked that movie, but it was creepy.
Yeah, it kind of left you freaked out.
You know, it's weird how no one had ever heard of this guy from the Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce until he started dating the very public Taylor Swift. She's 34 today.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, it was news to me. I didn't even know they had a tight end. Amy
Clout
Lee.
chaser.
What's that?
Clout chaser.
Clout chaser. Amy Lee of Evanescence, 42. Blink-182's Tom DeLonge, 48. Former Minnesota Twin Matt LeCroy, also 48.
Matt LeCroy?
Yep. Jamie Foxx, 56. We heard from a listener, a friend named Dean had a heart attack. He's a younger guy, too. Sounded like a surprise to his family and friends. So we send our best to Dean and all those around him this morning. Happy 46th to Neil, short for Cornelius, from your brother, but she didn't mean not to, Jesus.
That is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That his full name is Cornelius.
You don't hear that a lot.
I wish I would have been that lucky.
That is a cool name. Happy belated birthday to Riker. Turned the big 05 on Monday from Dad, mug-slinging Jesus, and his brothers Jason Avery, as well as his baby sister Adeline, due next month. Happy 40th to... Boy, a while ago, this might have pissed Nick off, but I don't think you'll have a problem with it now.
What's happening?
Happy 40th to Kiss Sucks Jesus. That doesn't make you mad anymore, or does it kind of still bother you?
No, man. I mean, if he would have said that in high school, I'd be throwing punches already. But, you know, they recently played supposedly their final show, and this happened, and that happened. Did you hear about all that?
Oh, yeah. And now they're going to be digital avatars to go on in the future. Did you guys see the video of that? It's actually kind of cool.
It did look kind of fun.
And I know they're saying more artists might do this exact same thing.
I didn't spend much time following what they were talking about. Maybe you can fill me in some other time.
You should, yeah. Well, I'll show you the video. It's cooler than you think it's going to be.
They're going to be digital avatars. Now, okay.
Well, again, happy 40th to you, Kiss Sucks Jesus, and that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
Randy Shaver? Boo! Who's Randy Shaver? The ass man. Oh yeah, my dad said he sucks.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Sir, I was wondering, did you happen to catch the professional football contest on television last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was most exhilarating. The Giants of New York took on the Packers of Green Bay. And in the end, the Giants triumphed by kicking an oblong ball made of pigskin to a big H. It was a most ripping victory.
The hold, the kick, the win for the Giants and Tommy DeVito.
All right, the bros are here. Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Hi, Brad. And a guy who likes to get fresh with the text messages lately, doesn't he, Brad? Randy Shea.
Yeah.
He'll go after a guy.
Yeah. While he's on the air, too.
Never stopped me before, Brad.
I didn't even pick up on that. You're right.
We were having a good time last night with the text messages trading back and forth. So at first, it didn't sound like Brad Ryder was going to be able to join us this morning. He had this and that going on. But late last night, he sent out a mass text that said, hey, my obligations have gone away, so I am available to come on the air Wednesday morning. He sent that to everybody. Randy's first text message says, oh, crap.
Bleed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, I'm sure, one of those autocorrect deals. Because he did fix it right afterwards.
Because he texts that word so frequently that it just appears in his text messages.
And then Randy tried to straighten things out by saying, no, that's great. Can't wait to see you, Brad. Can't wait to see you.
Happy for you, Brad.
Do you guys want to get in? Do you want to get into this coming to America silliness that's going around?
It's pretty funny, I thought.
Right.
And just the fact that somebody would point that out even.
What a funny movie.
I think it was Robert Griffin III that noticed that, too.
Oh, the old quarterback?
Yeah, RG3.
Robert Griffin III. Part 3. The old movie Coming to America. What a funny movie. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and John Amos, one of my favorite actors, John Amos there.
He's awesome.
Plays Mr. McDowell from McDowell's Restaurant. Who am I missing in there? Louis Anderson. And,
Louis' character was so good.
1988, Coming to America. Loved it. So, there are people on whack-ass social media saying that Coming to America, the movie from 1988, predicted the Giants win over the Packers on Monday Night Football the other night.
It's kind of like how with The Simpsons, that always seems to happen. But, if you've had so many episodes, you're going to get lucky every once in a while. But some of them are kind of creepy.
Spot on, yeah. It's almost like, oh my God.
There's the scene from the movie that you heard in our intro where Eddie Murphy's character, Akeem, approaches John Amos's character, Cleo McDowell, and says, "Did you see the game last night? The Giants beat the Packers by kicking an oblong ball made of pigskin through a big H."
It was a most ripping victory.
It was a ripping victory.
And people are going back and forth about, what a long shot that is, because, how often do the Giants play the Packers in a night game? You know what I'm saying? They're making all these different connections to the old Coming to America movie. It was the first time the Giants had played the Packers on Monday Night Football since 1983.
Wow.
Rare matchup at a rare time of day. But then there are others who are saying, well, for God's sake, didn't anyone watch the 2007 NFC title game? That exactly happened. That scenario played itself out in that game.
I was at Josh's wedding that night. I missed the game.
You weren't invited to my wedding.
I know. I just like to pretend I'm cool.
That's why I'll always remember that ball game, because it was the night that you got married, Josh.
So were they shooting that movie in 1983 then, probably?
No.
Okay.
87, 88.
All right.
So, whatever. Take it as far as you'd like to take it. It's kind of cute.
It's just funny.
Whatever, that folks are making that connection. In about 15 minutes, we're going to talk to Marcus Foligno from the Man Bear Pigs, so we might as well do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. All right. It's I guess it's official. Did we know this already? Is this the liquor talking? Sometimes I can't keep track of this and that. Nick Mullins has been named the starting quarterback for the game Saturday.
It was officially
named. Yeah. Officially, I think we all knew that's the direction they were going to go.
Right. And Justin Jefferson has a good chance to play this weekend, they say. He avoided anything serious with that shot to the tailbone and the lower back and everything that he took on.
Thank God.
Took a crack to the... So he might be ready to roll.
Okay.
And they could use a guy like that for many obvious reasons. But I don't know if you guys, you think you could have told me this? The Vikings lead the NFL in dropped passes?
It seems that way.
Interesting.
I'm not surprised. But it's not necessarily all the receivers' fault recently.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, really.
They lead the NFL in dropped passes. And there are 3 players doing most of the dropping. All right, so first off, 28 dropped passes in 13, 14 games. How many games have they played now? 13? I don't know.
13, yeah.
Okay. 28 dropped passes? I thought it would be higher than that, to be honest with you.
Well, that's 2 a game. That's actually quite a few.
Is that right? I guess I thought it would be higher than that.
I agree with you. It seems higher when you watch the game.
Yeah.
I wonder what constitutes a dropped pass, though.
Good question.
Somebody's fingertips, it's probably not considered a drop. But.
Yeah, I hear you on that. They dropped 6 footballs in that game against Las Vegas. Is that going to be, will we see that on ESPN Classic in a decade or
I'm giving you guys all DVD copies of the game for Christmas this year.
They should throw that on like around 2 a.m. every night on some channel in case people can't sleep.
Yeah,
exactly.
They
tune in.
Dropped 6 passes in that game, they say, and they dropped 6 when they lost to the Chiefs. I have zero memory of when did they play the Chiefs? At any rate, Most of the drops have come from, they're picking on these guys, KJ Osborne, Alexander, Well, those are the guys that...
KJ Osborne had a bad game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did.
He had a bad game.
The Browns have dropped 27 passes this year. Their quarterbacks have been an adventure.
Right.
Finally, they got a solid one in my homeboy Joe Flacco. Going to win me that $600, I think, Josh.
I hope so. I hope you win that thing.
I made a bet, when we
People made fun of you for that. People laughed.
Of course they did. Jealous
Laughed
pricks.
in your face.
And then they laughed again when that quarterback went down. All they do is win now.
There were people who texted me and said, well, now you're screwed. What's his name fell down? What was his name?
Zajman.
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
But now they got Joe Flacco. I made a bet. If you're not following this, I made a bet when we went to, what's that town again? Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. I made a bet for the Browns to win the Super Bowl. If they win, I'll get $600. The Detroit Lions have dropped 26 footballs. So,
does it seem like Hawkinson's not as much of a lock as he was last year? It seemed like if you threw just in the same stadium, he'd catch it. And this year, it just doesn't seem the same. Because he's on that list.
Him the ball.
Well, I think he's probably not open as often because Jefferson is out.
Right.
And they're paying more attention to him. So
I was going to say in the beginning of the season, he was throwing the ball to him a lot. Cousins
was.
Sure.
Kirk finds him because Kirk goes through his progressions, but the other guys they've had in there don't.
Here's the
It's
thing,
been
Cubby.
so consistent, it seemed.
I don't follow it close enough to really get involved in this conversation, with the exception of this comment. I do enjoy watching that Hawkinson guy play. Because is it me, or every time he catches the ball, he gets annihilated by somebody?
Yeah, he's a tough dude, that's for sure, yeah.
He just gets annihilated.
What game was that? A couple games ago, right? I think we even talked about it. He was getting destroyed, and he gets right back up. I don't know how.
And that was the game he was questionable going into the game with back issues.
It was a home game. I can't recall, but I know what you're talking about. At one point, we were talking about this at the bar on Sunday. Whatever opponent that was at home, Josh, he got hit when he was going out of bounds.
Right. They're like in the red zone or right next to. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It flipped him upside down so furiously that he ended up kneeing himself in the head.
Man,
that's how.
And that was like the second or third time, like relatively close together. Those different plays.
He's the second coming of Qadri Ismail. I loved watching Qadri Ismail play for the Minnesota Vikings because, well, this little different scenario. Ismail, sure, he ran a few routes as a wide receiver, but mainly he was a kick returner. And Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, I'm sure, remember this. On almost every one of his kick returns, he would get hit so hard you would think he was dead.
Yeah. But he ran those kicks hard, too. I mean, those collisions were massive.
Yeah, he was cooking. He would get cooking, and he just didn't always have the best, what do you call this, John?
Peripheral vision.
Vision. And somebody would just deplete his ass. Oh, my God, it was a riot.
Yeah, Hawkinson's tough.
He is. We'd go to the bar and just brace ourselves when there was when Qadri would, field a punt or a kid. We'd be like, here it comes, boys. Oh! All right, you guys like this gimmick going around? Everyone's flipping out over the New York Giants quarterback, Tommy DeVito, and they're calling him Tommy Cutlets over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tommy. He's won a couple, 3 games in a row. Now he's got the nickname Tommy Cutlets. You like the nickname?
Yeah,
sure.
You like it?
Because he loves his mom's cutlets. He still lives at home, right? He hasn't moved out since last we heard from him.
That's what his mother and his father.
His mom makes dinner, does
cutlets.
laundry.
Yeah.
I smell an endorsement deal coming with some chicken company.
Probably.
No, Campbell's. He's going to take over the Donovan McNabb and his mom.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think that he'd do like an endorsement for one of them, like a restaurant over there, or a grocery? Once I start, I can't stop. I apologize. Tommy Cutlets.
Did you see his agent, too, before the game standing next to him?
Oh, my God.
Dude, his agent is perfect.
That's got to be a joke.
Right out of Hollywood.
Guy's straight out of The
He
Sopranos.
says it's not. His agent said this is just my look.
I want to talk to him.
You know that's the only client he has.
And I also love it. They're showing the family and stuff, and one segment they show, the dad's kissing the agent, and then the agent kisses the dad right on the cheeks.
Yeah.
It's so Italian. Oh.
That agent's got to be a joke.
He seems like a character. That's for sure.
That's an actor from what are the funny programs these days? That Saturday Night Live, I guess. Tommy DeVito, he's won a couple 3 games in a row. All right, so here's the deal. So his nickname is Tommy Cutlets. They were talking about this when the Giants played. I don't know, who cares? Whenever they played their last ball game, they were talking about this on ESPN, and they showed a graphic of a plate of chicken cutlets. And I don't know anything about food, so if I would have seen the picture, I would have said, okay, that's what a chicken cutlet looks like. So I didn't react at all when I saw the picture originally. But a lot of folks thought ESPN's idea of what chicken cutlet should look like was pretty terrible.
I'm with you. It looked like what I thought they looked like, but I guess not.
You guys never had those in the school cafeteria growing up?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Back in Clare City, we had it literally every week. We'd have chicken cutlets.
I remember chicken being put on my plate, but is there something different between just a slab of chicken and a chicken cutlet? I don't know these things. I don't follow food at all.
I remember them as like frozen breaded chicken patties.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, okay, then I guess I have had one.
Chicken cutlets they're thinner than regular chicken breast.
All right.
Yeah, so it's like take a chicken breast and you cut it in half like down the middle.
All right. Well, a lot of folks. One person tweeted to ESPN when they saw ESPN's idea of what a chicken cutlet should look like. They tweeted, the graphic ESPN used for chicken cutlets in the Giants game just set back Italians 20 years. Well, I'm rooting for this kid. That's a fun story.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets like a Sbarro endorsement or something. Yeah. Like that.
But his agent is something to see. If you haven't checked it out, do we have pictures of this guy on our website?
No, but I can throw some up there.
All right. No more shines, Billy. Maybe you didn't hear about it and you've been away a long time. They didn't go up there and tell you I don't shine shoes anymore. Relax, will you? You're flipping out. What's gotten into you? I'm over here breaking your balls a little bit. Remember that scene from Goodfellas when they stomp out Billy Bats?
Yeah.
It's terrible. Put him in the trunk of the car. More quarterback news. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert is going to reportedly miss the rest of the season after he upped and had finger surgery. Call Phillip Rivers. Pull him off his wife. Pull Phil Rivers off the wife and hand him his old jersey. Because you know he's on the old lady right now. That's all he does.
I guess we'll find out in 9 months. Because we know he didn't use a condom. That's for sure.
Great.
That guy likes to bump.
Yeah, he does.
My damn. Well, that's too bad. I like that Justin Herbert. He's a fun.
Been a bad year for the Chargers. I think their coach is on his way out the door. That whole program, I think, is going to get a rebuild.
Maybe move him back to San Diego, maybe, so I can stop being annoyed by the Los Angeles thing.
I don't think Brandon Staley's long for the head coaching job.
That's not good. What is it happening? Is this a real person's name? You know, we got Tommy Cutlets over there. We got the agent. I'm having a hard time believing these people are real. The quarterback set to take over for the Chargers is a kid called Easton Stick.
I think he played at North Dakota State.
Easton Stick.
That's not a real name.
I've known a couple of Eastons before.
Am I right about that?
I have no idea.
I think he played at North Dakota State.
I'm going to go along with it.
Is it spelled like stick, too?
Am I right?
Yeah,
you're right, Randy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that name, yep.
But he's not just out of there. He graduated there 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Yep.
Easton. All right.
His middle name, Synergy.
What does that mean?
Easton Synergy hockey stick.
Oh. I just always bought the Christian Brothers cheap wood model.
Oh, yeah. Or Easton had the Z bubble.
You're a Z bubble.
A little bit.
It's a big zit you got in the middle of your forehead. How about this Mike McDaniel, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins? He doesn't act much like an NFL head coach. I think that's why people dig him so much.
I
He's
love
funny.
him.
Doesn't take himself too seriously.
No,
or the game of football that seriously.
If you don't like him, I could see why, but I do really like him too. He's great on Hard Knocks.
Every
wears
video
those-
that pops up about him, I just like him more and more.
He wears those Lululemon pants on the sideline.
Yeah, and they're like high waters.
Yeah.
Or what are they? Capris.
Yeah.
Capris,
He is not like what you'd expect a coach to be.
Yeah, Bum Phillips is like rolling over in his grave.
Exactly. He is so different.
Tom
Landry. I was going
to
say Tom Landry, too.
The guys who dressed up, the guys who wore. Okay, but somehow a text message exchange that this Mike McDaniel had with Peyton Manning became a thing on the internet. So the Dolphins were playing on Monday Night Football the other night, and apparently Peyton Manning reached out to McDaniel before the game to interview him. It was tape an interview, and then we'll play it when your club's on the field there for Monday night for the Manning cast. So Peyton Manning sent the text, and it said, apparently Peyton was very polite, and he told Mike McDaniel, I'll keep the conversation short and sweet. And McDaniel's response is what everyone's been talking about. So Manning said, would you come on the show? And McDaniel's response was, F yes. You're effing Peyton Manning, bro.
I mean, you could if anybody's familiar with him, you could almost just say that quote and know who it came from.
Yeah.
That's how he talks.
One of our listeners, Single Father Jesus, says that McDaniel is punchable.
Yeah, I could see why you'd say that.
Yeah. He's punchable. His face is punchable.
I don't think there's a lot of gray area with him. I think you either like him or you don't like him.
Well, there you go. What else is going on?
Well, we got to say a little bit about John Anderson.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Congratulations to John. I mean, he's done it his way. I don't think there's any doubt about it. It's going to be his 43rd and final season as Gopher baseball coach. Mm-hmm. No coach at the University of Minnesota has coached longer than John Anderson, and arguably very few have been as successful as John has been. When you think about baseball in Minnesota, it's got its moments, right? I mean, this is a cold weather state, and for a sport like baseball to thrive at any level is impressive. But at the collegiate level, when you're recruiting kids, mostly really from this state, but you've got to go outside this state too in order to fill your roster. He's done a remarkable job, and he's done it in a way that's classy. And I think the world of him. I think he's a great man, and I think he's done a great job. And I know a lot of guys who've played for him.
So he's got one more season in him, and then he's done.
Yep.
Yeah.
One more season.
Retire.
What a hell of a run.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. We've stayed in touch over the years, and I've traveled with Gopher baseball for a number of years when I worked at the university. He let my son be their bat boy for 6 years. So
hey, that's great.
I can't say enough good things about him.
Well, I hope he has a hell of a fun retirement and just kicks back and has a friggin' blast, because he's been working his ass off on that ball club for 43 years.
Yeah. And he was at the U even longer than that as a graduate assistant.
Yeah.
And did he not play baseball?
He played a couple of years and had some shoulder trouble, so that he stopped playing and then became a graduate assistant, and that's how he got into coaching.
What's some of the players that he's had?
He's been there since, I think, 79.
Paul Molitor and Dave Winfield and Terry Steinbach and Glenn Perkins and this and that and this and that. He's had some great players and some great years, so we wish him all the best. I'm glad you brought that up, Randy Shaver. I was certainly going to mention the guy, but good for him.
He's just had a hard time. The last time I talked to him, maybe 6 months ago or so, I could kind of see this was maybe going to be it. He talks a lot now about the transfer portal, and we talk about that in a lot of sports, but especially in his sport, they're having a really hard time keeping up in a lot of the northern schools, because if somebody has any success, then some of the southern schools now are getting a free run at them, when in the past it was harder to do that.
There you go. Congrats, John Anderson, on a great career. We'll watch you one more season, and then we'll have a beer party. We got Marcus Foligno on the line. Let's take a shot at a Minnesota Wild report. What's going on, Marcus Foligno?
How you guys doing?
Good. Nice to hear from you.
Doing all right. We're doing. That's great to hear from you again. You guys have had a few days off here, so how drunk are you right now?
Not too bad. It's practice day today, so we had to clean it up last night. But no, it's we had a gala last night for Wild Adult Children, so some guys enjoyed themselves. But other than that, no, we're excited for practice and get back at it Thursday. We got to keep climbing the standings here.
I hear you. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite make it out. You had a gala last night for what?
Wild About Children. It's one of our biggest events last night. It's on the ice hockey level floor. They put down the whole mats, and then you get to serve. We're the waiters. For the night.
Yeah.
Players
That's cool. I've seen that on the news before. That's cool.
So they put dinner.
It's a lot of fun. People have a good time with it. So, it's a great event. I think it's raised about $3 million so far, in probably a handful of years. So it's been great.
Any player accidentally dump a tray or something on some poor people or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, there's always spillage. I think Pat Maroon dumped about 10 tequila shots in someone's suit jacket last night.
Is it like high school where everyone stands up and applauds just when somebody drops something?
Oh, yeah. We just point and laugh at the guy. We think it's so terrible.
Well, you have to.
Well, that sounds like a fun deal, though. So they got dinner tables everywhere, and you guys are the waiters. Good deal.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah.
Is it tough to behave sometimes when you have days off? When it comes to cleaning out a large pizza all by yourself, or do you not worry about things like that much?
No, I think days off is when you gotta enjoy it. I mean, you gotta eat pizza. You gotta a free day to kind of do whatever. I mean, there's a time and place for it, but yeah, guys get together and hang out and whatever. Go watch a game. We watch a football game, basketball game, and something like that. So, we're always together on the road, but I think especially when you come back, you want to, really get together. We're all pretty close. So, you gotta enjoy it. Enjoy days off. We don't get them as often as we like. So, when you do, you gotta just relax and kind of forget about the game and just be an average Joe again.
What are you capable of? Like, say, if we tossed a large Papa John's in front of you, could you clean that out all on your own?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like a full pizza per person. I'll go for. I'll start dappling up someone else's plate if I have to.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
That's the thing. I love pizza, and a lot of guys do it. We get pizza after games and stuff, and you got to grab a box and head to the bus after with it because some guys will take it from you. So
well,
we don't get it often, but when we do, guys enjoy it.
You burn up so friggin' much energy and fat and whatnot. So if you could give us, because we got some foodies on this program, Marcus. So I mean, not that you have to be learned in. This and that to talk junk food. I was just going to simply ask you if you could maybe name your top 3 junk foods. What would they be?
Junk foods.
Yeah.
Are these like full meals?
Whatever comes to mind. Just something that maybe a trainer might say, dude, dial it back on that. Something.
Oh yeah. I mean, one's got to be pizza. Yeah. I mean, I'll do. I'll do any type of pizza you can throw in front of me. I don't care. So I'll eat anything. I'll even, and then two's got to be. I mean, it's got to be burgers for sure.
Sure.
I can clean up burgers. I'm big. I mean, I've had Juicy Lucy before, but I'm more of like McDonald's. Like if you want to just do something quick and go. I'll just go to McDonald's and grab something.
They've never let me down, Marcus.
That's true. Always a good experience.
I've never had a bad McDonald's Big Mac or whatever. So
no, they never let me down either.
What about on the flip side? Like Al Michaels is famous for never eating a vegetable. He refuses to eat vegetables. Are there foods like that for you?
I forgot about that. That's odd.
Oh, jeez. No, unfortunately, I eat them. I'm not too bad with vegetables. I feel like I get them myself, but that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
So
you avoid that.
Not even having. Usually, it gets slipped in there somehow, some way. You have to have one. But you know what? Third one. Geez, I mean, you want to talk about like middle of the day afternoon snack that I'll make is nachos. I'll make my own nachos.
That's awesome.
Like especially football game day, like Sunday football. I make nachos at home for the family. So that's a big thing for me. But it's usually me eating probably 80% of it, and then my girls get about the rest. So nachos is another thing. I can always dabble with one of those.
Are you a cold pizza guy? Where you eat the pizza for breakfast? Oh, you're not?
I can't do it. People like that. I don't know how they do it.
I think it depends on the pizza. It depends on the type. Where you get it from. Yeah.
Randy Shaver loves cold pizza.
Oh, I
So do I.
No, I always got to warm it up. I always have to warm it up. I don't know why. I've never like, tin foil the next day, and you got to unwrap it and just eat it right out of it. I can't do it.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite things. I get aggravated when someone starts the oven. What the hell's it? What are you doing?
I hate when people don't warm
It's
it up.
already been cooked once. You don't have to do it again.
Yeah, that insults the original chef.
Exactly.
Yeah, cold pizzas. Ooh, on the topic of food, what's that? I struggle with this sometimes. What's that green stuff? Watusi? What's
Guacamole
that?
or wasabi?
Wasabi. You ever had wasabi-flavored Funyuns, Marcus Foligno?
Oh, geez. No, I have not.
Or the almonds?
You'll retire?
Are they pretty good, or is it really stick you in the throat? When you eat those things?
Wasabi Funyuns, you'll quit the game of hockey.
Really?
Because all you want to do is sit in your home and eat wasabi-flavored Funyuns. I had them when I was in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even know if you can find them around here, and they just knocked my socks off. Here we are. We're in friggin' Maui. You know, it's I don't really get into tropical beaches and whatnot, but we're in the middle. There's what do you call those big fat things? Whales. They're jumping in and out of the.
We're explanation for a whale.
Yeah, the big fat. We're on the beach. There's whales jumping out of the water in front. It's this most beautiful thing. I could not pull my face out of this big bag of wasabi flavor. I didn't
You're
care.
like, that's pretty sweet, but have you had these wasabi Funyuns?
Right. A mermaid could have saddled one of the whales, and I wouldn't have cared. I would not have cared.
So it looks like wasabi-flavored Funyuns went away, but there's a change.org petition to bring them back right now.
I love that.
Nick, I'm telling you, you should try the wasabi-flavored almonds. It was the same experience for me. I couldn't stop eating, but I was an Egan and not Maui, which is essentially the same.
Also once in a lifetime experience.
I gotta try to see if I can get a handle on one of those if someone's got them found, or that'd be nice. Wasabi Funyuns, geez.
Dude, I'm telling you. What else is going on? Marcus Foligno, you got a game tomorrow night at home against Calgary. Did you have a say? Because are you not a player rep of some level, Marcus?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, player rep for the NHLPA. Yeah, big title.
I mean, you should be.
It's not much. We just get on the calls and make sure we're on the meetings, and then we just agree with everything they say. So.
Wow, I'm not going to take.
You get a couple free tickets here and there, so you know what? Sign me up.
Next time I read something in the paper about the Players Association agreeing to this or that, I'm not going to take it so seriously. These guys didn't think about it.
You'll get.
They got Marcus is trying to clear out a pizza. They call him about a rule change, and he just, whatever you guys want. I don't care.
That's how it goes around here, too.
I'm like you with the wasabi Funyuns and the whales in front of me. I'll just keep eating it.
I'll bet you if the owners decided to take 5% more of the revenues, you guys would pay attention.
Yeah, that's my ear up for sure. I would have a say, I guess.
But Josh, you were saying that's kind of how meetings go around here.
Especially with you, you'll agree to anything just to wrap the meeting up.
Marcus, we have that in common. That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true. We'll be sitting and having a meeting here, and a salesperson will walk up and say, hey, would you dedicate the next 6 hours of programming to this tire company? I'd say, yeah, sure.
If it gets you to walk out of the room, sure, absolutely.
And then the following day, they say, well, don't forget, today's show is dedicated to white wall tires. And I'll say, well, who agreed to that? You're right. I just want to be out of here. I don't want to listen. I just want to, so I agree to everything. Here's where I was going with this, Marcus. Did you have a say in the money that they're giving away at your league's All-Star Weekend this year?
Yeah, we do. We actually have to agree on all that stuff, and that's another thing too. The All-Star game, right? It's the team that wins gets it divvied up between the players.
Well, what I have here in front of me,
charity or their choice or something like that.
Okay, what I have here involves the skills competition. It's quite a prize this year.
Oh, okay, yeah, they threw a little bit more money in.
Yeah,
like that's the stuff that they're like, we're gonna throw a little bit in, and I'm like, you know what? I'll never be in an All-Star game, so how can I say no to this? I haven't read those games. I feel like I shouldn't be the one commented on this, you know.
You pass the phone to an all-star caliber player, and
yeah. shrills right beside me. I'm like, what do you want? And he doesn't speak English, so he just says he agrees with it too. So I got to translate everything for him.
So this is, I mean, the skills competition. There'll be a bunch of players competing in 8 different events. You get eliminated along the way. But I understand that the player who wins the skills competition overall gets $1 million.
Yeah, see, I think they're trying to not to say the skills competition isn't, but I think just to make guys try harder. It's not just a Sunday skate where you go out, you have fun. I think that's what's kind of becoming a little bit the All-Star game. It's cool to be there. Obviously, it's a huge honor for those guys, but you got to make it exciting. So if guys are taking it serious, and it's $1 million towards whatever their charity to themselves, just in general. I know a lot of them donate some money back, but if they got to put something on the line and to make it more interesting, to make guys try hard in the shooting competition or the stick handling, the agility thing, where you got guys going all out to the fastest speed skater, fastest skater, which is mostly always McDavid, but it's just one of those things where you gotta just spice it up a bit. And I think it's a smart move by enticing the guys to play a little bit harder.
$1 million to the outright winner. It kind of puts Randy Shavers. We were just talking yesterday. Kind of puts your pickleball tournament to shame. I think we got an email saying that all we're going to get is a plate of cookies that your wife made. So,
she said they're good cookies.
All right. You just got done saying you don't consider yourself an all-star player. Fine. But let me throw some of the different competitions in the skill competition at you and tell me which one you think. Tell me which one you think you could hang with. Okay. So these are the different skills competitions. Fastest skater, you're probably not going to.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to want to do that one.
Okay. Hardest shot.
Yeah, I would try that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea, when you full-on letter buck, do you have any idea how fast that puck is going with a slap shot?
I could probably get up to. I would like to see if I can get to 100. I know I can be up probably high 90s for sure.
Have you guys ever horsed around at practice with a radar gun or anything like that?
No, we didn't. We should definitely get one and just throw it up there. I know it's pretty comical. We have Marc-Andre Fleury in that, and he always chirps in practice and stuff. So he's the radar machine. He's the one that tells you if you have a muffin, if you have a muffin shot, or if it's a rocket or something like that. So he's pretty comical. He'll give you back the miles per hour in a way of chirping you. So
a muffin shot. I like that.
That's something I like to. We should bring that around more often.
Yeah, well,
have guys line up at the end of practice and see if you have to skate if you're the lowest or whatever every day.
You give Wapple enough pot, he'll stand in the crease with the radar gun. Stick handling competition. You think you could be slick between the cones and all that?
You know what? I think they would. I think fans would like to see guys that are kind of like the grinder guys like myself. See if they have a good set of hands on them that normally don't get displayed, because I think most of our guys like me have to dump and chase and make sure we're not turning the puck over. Where Zuccarello and Kirill Kaprizov can handle it no matter what and do what they want with it. So it would be comical to see some of the big guys show off their hands in that situation.
Well, yeah. Wasn't that the big hit at the All-Star game a few years ago? John Scott, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to play with that guy, and that was awesome seeing that. So.
And I know you've heard this. I know you've heard this saying before. I forgot who I was watching you guys play one night at the X, but it was many years ago. But anyway, someone from the opposition came down the rink and was just dangling. Maybe it was patty cakes, but anyway, somebody in the crowd says, "Man, that guy could stick handle in a phone booth."
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One
I wish
time.
I had that thing about me.
What's that?
I wish they said that about me, but no.
Well, maybe tomorrow night against Calgary.
Or something.
The other categories here are one-timers, a passing challenge, and an accuracy shooting.
I'd probably try to do the accuracy shooting.
Okay. You think you could hit the plates up in the corner?
I don't get many shots off in the season, but when I do, it usually goes in. So, you know what? I try to get that shooting percentage high. Other guys get it low because they take so many shots. If they're like, you want to shoot, you got to wait for the perfect moment. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Well, all that'll be coming up in Toronto. That'll all be coming up in Toronto. February 2nd in Toronto. I'll be damned. The skills competition. Well, Christ, I'll tell you what, Marcus, I know I don't got to tell you to be careful out there on the ice, but I was reading something the other day about some poor guy plays for the New York Rangers by the name of Barclay Goodrow. You familiar with that guy?
Oh, yeah. Yep, Goodrow. Good player.
I don't think I'd ever seen this before. He took a puck to the face.
Oh, from his own teammate.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. His own teammates.
The defenseman tried to keep it in the zone, and he just shot it right back in the middle while he was trying to back check out of the zone. And I don't think he looked up at the last second, and the puck hit him right square in the mouth.
Yeah, hit him in the yab. Now, it was a pretty normal occurrence. He drops down to his hands and knees, and he spits something out onto the ice. So nine times out of 10, that's a tooth. But in this case, he spit out a chunk of his jaw.
Oh. No, that's not supposed to happen.
There was something on the ice that did not look like a tooth. It looked like a long line. It was like bone or something. It was kind of gross.
Yeah. It was gross to watch.
Yeah.
So he even looked at the piece on the ice as if to say, well, what the hell is that? You know? Turns out that a piece of his jawbone broke off and somehow made its way through the interior skin of his mouth. And there he spits it up.
He's going to have a hell of a doctor stitching that up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Our dentists are great in this league, you know, honest to God. They're Joel Eriksson on our team got hit in the mouth 2 weeks ago. Oh, my God. He looked worse than Lloyd Christmas. It was just debris. He kind of looked like a little bit like Shrek at the same time. I mean, it was, and then next day he comes back in like, you know, looks like Fabio. He looks incredible.
Beautiful.
Mouth is perfect, and they're like, what the hell happened to you? So our dentists are pretty good. They fix you up in no time, man.
God dang. Yeah.
I would think if a jawbone comes out, it would be...
He's just like, I think his defenseman said he shouldn't have been standing there, but that's all.
Right.
If the jawbone comes out, isn't that beyond what a dentist can do, though? Yes. I would think.
I don't know. Yeah, there's probably more surgery there.
Yeah, I would think so.
To have a jawbone guy on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, and then...
you got to be careful with those pucks flying around, man.
Well, yeah. Right. And then also Rob Ray took a puck to the face a couple nights ago.
Oh, that made me laugh inside. That was great.
Just check in on your Rob.
If you were to see Rob Ray's head in person, you're like, well, no wonder that thing is huge. So
he's got a noggin. I mean, you ain't kidding, and it's square. He
does have a square head.
The only guy on planet Earth with a square skull.
Just check in on your.
Ty Domi was the one to make it square all the time when they fought back in the day.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's hanging out there analyzing the game between the penalty boxes for the Buffalo Sabres the other night, and he took a puck right between the eyes. He got bandaged up and kept going.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that guy, nothing's stopping that guy.
Tell you what. Yeah, players were skating over to check him, make sure he was okay. He was okay. He kept yapping on the broadcast and everything. So there you go. All right, Marcus. Well, tomorrow night we'll be checking you out on the ice against the Calgary Flames. And we always appreciate your time here on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a great day.
Take it easy on the pizza and the beer, and we'll
talk again on those wasabi Funyuns.
Oh, yeah.
Give them a try.
And you know what, Marcus? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys, too.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
That'd be a great Christmas present for him. You should find him and send him over.
The wasabi flavored.
Yeah.
You might be maybe on eBay.
Well, like Dana said they shut them down.
They shut them down. I'm looking on eBay right now. It doesn't look like they have any.
It was hurting the tourism dollars in Hawaii, I think.
Nobody wanted to go on whale watches. All they wanted to do is stay on the beach and eat Funyuns.
All the whale watches closed down in Hawaii.
We never really got a chance to talk about this little kid, Draymond Green.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
This dude is so troubled.
What? He needs to go.
To me, this one's worse than the Gobert thing.
Oh,
and then he's trying to pretend like he didn't need to do it. He's such a child.
I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
What does he have to do to be kicked out of the league?
Yeah, no kid.
Good question. I'll tell you this much, Ashley. If he played for the Toronto Raptors and had 0 NBA championship rings, I think he probably would be on the verge of being kicked out of the league.
All right.
If you're the management of Golden State, you've got to be so incredibly frustrated with this guy that he just doesn't. He's just a child.
Yes.
He doesn't listen.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sooner or later, they just need to cut ties.
He was ejected again. He swung around and punched Nurkic from the Suns right in the face for absolutely no reason. So he was ejected again. He'll be suspended again, and we go on and on and on with this.
He acts like he's the victim in all of this.
Like Randy said, he was actually arguing. There's absolutely no reason to argue.
He said that he was trying to accentuate the fact that he was fouled by swinging his arms. That's such.
If you watch the video, he wasn't even fouled.
To even say anything makes him even look more foolish.
Yeah. He just picked up his third foul. And now Green runs over Nurkic, and he'll be called for the foul, and they're going to take a look at this. Oh, man.
Well, that's going to be a flagrant.
Yep,
and now they're going to just try to decide if they think it was excessive. It's going to be at least a flagrant 1, could be a 2.
Which would be an ejection. Boy, that is a swipe.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I saw a couple articles written today about it that said, you know what? Eventually, he's going to seriously hurt someone.
Mm-hmm. Sure he is.
And then the NBA is going to have to say, well, sorry, we should have suspended this guy longer or kicked him out of the league. Who knows? But, I mean, he damn near already killed one of his teammates, a year ago?
Yeah.
What was that kid's name?
Jordan Poole.
Right, yeah. Jordan Poole. I mean, he really honestly could have killed him. So, I mean, yeah, he's
just a mental case.
He is. He's troubled. There's something wrong with him.
He is.
Oh, and by the way, real quick before we go, speaking of on-the-court nonsense, a website called The Big League pointed out something interesting here. So the Denver Nuggets played in Chicago last night.
Yes.
Nikola Jokic was ejected from the game for arguing a no-call. The fun twist is last night was Serbian Heritage Night in Chicago.
Yep.
The official on a point as if he was ejecting Jokic from the game. That can't be right, can it? Did he get ejected from the game?
Wow. Now listen.
Oh, that's
terrible.
That doesn't seem fair at all.
That's excessive. That's excessive.
You should have got a ejection down there. He should have got fouled.
But to eject the guy, come on now. The people didn't come to see the officials. Let's just be honest. They came to see the players. He's one of the players that people came to see. He earns that. He's a 2-time MVP.
And that's even the Bulls announcers.
Stacey King.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny. The most famous Serbian on planet Earth.
On Serbian night in Chicago.
Yes.
Right.
Gets thrown out of That's great.
The booing was deafening, too.
Oh, the Chicago fans were pissed.
Yeah, they
really
wanted to see him. Yeah.
$300 or whatever to get a good seat to the game, and the best player gets thrown out 6 minutes into it. I love it. All right, we got to go, boys, but thank you very much.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating. I'm proud to work for a company that understands and takes care of our fellow Minnesotans. Our weather here can be a little unpredictable and even extreme. That's why we've been here for 93 years and counting, to keep our community safe and comfortable.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
1995, when WCW announces they're going to be live and head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, feels like this would have been something Vince would have kind of laughed off.
No, we did not like them moving to Monday nights. There were a lot of hotels. They all carried CNN, TBS, and TNT. Vince was convinced that Ted Turner had deviously done this deal to get in the hotels and keep us out.
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
Just be mindful, move out of their way, and just move on.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, it just got so hot in here.
Oh, it is hot. Why?
It got so hot.
Did it?
I don't know why it's hot. Here we go. It is 8:35 on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. It's been a hell of a deal, and then suddenly it got so hot.
Did you guys adjust your thermostat? A lot of times your room controls our room.
No, we can't touch anything, otherwise it smells like an electrical fire.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite smells. We hope everybody's doing all right. Hopefully you're not too hot. I warned you bastards that soon enough we'd be hammered with end-of-the-year lists and rankings and this and that. And here's where we're going this time. End-of-the-year rankings. This, that. The top searched porn fetishes by state for the year 20, then 23, which is about ready to come to a close, Cubby. I don't know if you follow these types of things.
Yeah, I've got a calendar. I learned about a couple that I hadn't heard of before.
Me too.
From this list.
Me too. The top searched porn fetishes by state. So I'm guessing, somebody tapped into our computers and saw what we were looking up when we look up the porn and the fetishes. There was one outright winner. Boy, what a year 20 plus 23 has been when you consider the most popular porn fetish all across the United States of America is giantess. And I had to read the description before I said, oh, sure, I've seen a little bit of that. I couldn't identify it just by the name. Giantess. And that is, well, it says here, it's an expression of macrophilia. I don't know what the hell that means. But anyway, a sexual fascination with giants or giant objects. In popular video clips, giantesses are all aggressive and all powerful, and they humiliate their tiny partners.
I wonder with some of these, especially the ones that you don't, like giantess, you don't really hear that too much, right? You think it's just people looking it up going, what the heck is that?
That could be.
Possibly.
Could be.
That was kind of my thought on it versus people going, I want to masturbate to that.
I never friggin' considered that, Josh. And
well, I don't know if that's the case. They don't give a lot of information on how they determine this.
You are probably 100% correct, because my guess is this giantess gimmick is relatively new to the mainstream public. I'm sure it's been around for hundreds of years. Someone will probably text in and say, well, I found a giantess porn from 1860. I'm sure it's been, I'm just saying, I bet it's just recently become widely known. And so, sure, you look it up just out of curiosity, not because you're going to touch yourself till orgasm.
Like maybe like a huge like a Joe Rogan or a huge podcast or something mentioned it, and people are like, what the heck is that?
Exactly. That's brilliant on your part.
Oh, I don't know if that's brilliant. I could be way wrong.
You're not wrong.
I could be. It's happened before.
One of the only arguments that Josh and I ever get into is whether or not he is not wrong. I've seen a porno movie with one of these setups. Have you guys seen one of these?
I haven't, actually.
No. Is it legit or is it like CGI or something?
No, it wasn't all cartoony. I don't like all that cartoony and octopuses attacking you, whatever that is. I don't like the cartoony stuff. I go for the real thing. So what I saw, you guys got to see this one. There's this tiny little lady. She's just a little lady, even shorter than Smashley over here, and I don't mean that as an insult. Just saying.
She's just cute and compact.
Right. This lady was a short little lady. Like that gal we saw at Rick's Cabaret.
Oh, okay.
There was
the one you fell in love with first,
yep.
or the other one?
No, remember that dancer from Rick's who was not very tall.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
She was very short. Anyway, I watched this one movie where there's this tiny little lady, and she's in the kitchen, and then this big, giant, like 7-foot lady comes into the kitchen, and her name is, Barbara, and she said, Barbara! Barbara is here! Barbara hungry! Or something like that. And then she just picked up this little lady, and they had crazy sex, where giant Barbara is able to hold her above her head while doing something to her, and wears her like a backpack into the next room, and that kind of a thing. Well, I won't go any further with that, but it was just, that was the gimmick. You see where I'm going with all that?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Does that do anything for anyone?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
She just was in complete command because she's big and the other one's so little. That was the example that I saw.
I wonder if it's really tall guys that are into it, because, they're not used to being in that position. They're always the tall one. Maybe there's something there, you think?
I'm not sure. Because
it seems like, if you notice, at least of my friends that are very tall, and I'm talking like 6'2" or taller, they have shorter girlfriends or wives.
Okay.
Maybe like low average height.
So
I've noticed that as well.
Just for one night, they want to be the little person.
Yeah, they want to know what that's like.
Littler person.
Yeah.
By the way, when I was explaining when I was explaining the porno movie that I saw that featured giantess or giantessism, whatever the word is, Josh seemed to be just fine. I got the sense that I was frightening the rest of you. Are you okay over there? None of you said a word. You just kind of stared over here as if I wasn't making it up. This really happened. Barbara came into the room. She was very tall and she was hungry.
I can picture it.
Okay, fine. I just seemed like everyone over there
Is that
was...
the issue, that you were picturing it?
Yeah, probably.
Just lost in thought.
Yeah, I thought, the smaller girl had blonde hair, Barbara had brown hair.
Taking
taking
mental notes so you can look it up when you get home later.
She was pissed when she came in that kitchen.
Social anxiety, Jesus said, I'm 6'7". I'm not into that kind of porn, but I love short girls, 5'3" or shorter.
Short chicks. All right. So giantess, according to this story on the top searched porn fetishes in the United States for the year 23, giantess was the most popular. It ate up a good, I don't know, I'm looking at 15 some odd states, including Minnesota. That's what we looked up more than anything else.
Twin Jesus checked in on the topic. Her husband's 6'4", she's 5'1".
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's fun.
So here we go. So there was another fetish that I hadn't heard of. Well, I had heard of giantess, I guess, but this one I had never heard of. And it was the most popular porn fetish in 5 different states here in our proud union. And the fetish is called vor, V-O-R-E, vor.
This is, I'm right there with you. I'd never heard of it. I've never heard the term. This was brand new to me.
See, this is that cartoony stuff with the lizards and the octopuses. Well, at least that's my guess. And the giant ogres,
yeah. It's short for vorophilia.
You're right. Vor, short for vorophilia, is a sexual fetish where arousal is brought about. Mm-hmm. Who talks like that?
I do when I'm in the mood. Uh-oh, honey, arousal has been brought about.
Yes. It's a sexual fetish where you're turned on by the act of one creature consuming the other creature. Eats it whole, I guess. That's what I take away from that description. That doesn't do a single thing for me.
No, me either.
But, whatever. Vor. I think all the other terms that are used, well, no, there's another one where I don't know exactly what it means. We have to take a break here in a minute, so I'll get through what I can, and then we'll do a commercial break. Let's just get through the 5-state area, and then before we get out of here, we'll cover all these other fetishes that Americans are drawn to. And we'll get to the one where I don't know exactly what it means, and maybe I don't know, pardon me, maybe I don't want to know what it means. Maybe it's not appropriate to talk about on the radio. I don't know. The 5-state area. Okay, so I already told you that we here in Minnesota were lumped in with the majority, and we've been looking at giantness. Maybe I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Giantness. All right, the vor, where you're consuming, one creature consumes the other. That's what the Iowegians were looking up. It was that. They were looking that up, or whether their offense will score a touchdown this season in college football. Those were are we going to score a touchdown? And then they looked up vor when they were. Wisconsinites, you folks over there in Wisco, according to the story, you were looking up socks. They're sock humpers in Wisconsin.
Gross.
They're sock fillers.
Weirdos.
Yeah, they finish.
It's one place to do it.
South Dakota, yoga pants.
Simple.
No one's ever mad about yoga pants.
Yoga pants is what they look at.
Oh, I remember the first guy I ever saw in yoga pants, and I was confused. I was at the Minnesota Zoo.
Oh, wow.
And I saw a nice butt, and then I just like out of the movie Dumb and Dumber, it was a dude.
Huh.
And he wearing yoga pants. I didn't know that was a thing.
Good cheeks on him, though?
My wife said they were compression pants, but they looked to me like yoga pants.
I have yet to see a man in yoga pants, but now that you bring it up, I'm going to try to make it a thing with the vets at the American Legion in Wayzata. I'm going to run it by and see what they have to say. I'm going to see what they have to say. You know what they like to look up in North Dakota? Wrestling. Ooh.
I didn't know that was a type of porn.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
I've seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they like fight each other for like who's going to be in charge. Basically.
Yes, they do, Ashley.
Yeah, I came across some of those videos, and if
if you click one that's kind of like it, the next suggested videos they get very into it.
It's called ultimatesurrender.com, just to be very clear. But yes, the women wrestle to, how did you say it, Ashley, to decide who is the dominant one. Yep. And then it is absolutely fun from then on out. It is fun to watch.
Isn't that kind of what parents say if they get caught by the kid? Oh, we were wrestling.
We were horsing around.
That's all that was.
Jesus criminy.
Okay, you see what he did? He French fried when he should have pizzaed. French fry when you pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Sure. I hear you. Here's what we're up to. We're piling through America's favorite sexual fetishes. And as soon as we're done with that, I'm going to go home to my big 7'3" side piece and ask her to beat me into oblivion. That's one of the fetishes we covered. Giantness. Giantness, where you're kind of taken over by a much bigger individual. Minnesota, actually, according to this study on the top searched porn fetishes by state for the year 20 plus 23, Minnesota. Giantness fell into the first place spot. We looked that up, sideways, up and down, all day long. Giantness. There's some that we didn't cover yet. Quite a bit that we didn't cover yet. Okay, so the Iowegians are into vor. Just to backtrack here, the Iowegians are into something called vor, which is short for vorophilia. That's something along the lines of where you get a hard-on when one creature consumes another creature. In Wisconsin, they like socks.
That's funny to me.
In North Dakota, they like to watch folks wrestle. In South Dakota, they like yoga pants. So what didn't we cover yet? Oh, okay. In the state of Mississippi, they're into ball busting, the ball busting fetish. Now, I know how I define ball busting, where, you call out your buddy and make fun of him. But this must be the deal that we've heard about before, where a gal puts on a pair of hockey skates or something and then steps on your nards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or like big high heels.
Kicked, slapped, paddled, tortured, all that.
Yep.
Ugh. Like the stomp porn you hear about.
To your bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate these things.
You hate what things?
These nuts. Stomp on them.
I've never liked these pills I got swinging down. Why don't you turn them into dust for me, Rue?
Flatten my balls.
So many states are into this giantness. It's crazy. And
it's crazy. I've never come across it even. Sometimes when you're just kind of scrolling through, you might see something, well, that's not for me. And you just but I've never even come across it.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Never clicked on it.
Same here.
Yeah, you're doing it all wrong, Dana.
Yeah, you want some of our sites?
Yeah. Hit me with your favorite links, please, in the group chat.
There are some states that stood alone, and they were the only state that, that searched this certain fetish to where it ended up number one. And that would be like, say, New Mexico. Their number one sexual fetish searched on the internet was latex. You put on a rubber suit.
Oh, yeah, those gimp suits.
And, you got a little zipper so the gear can come out. Tennessee. I'll never go there because their top sexual fetish is tickling, and I'll just straight up end your life.
Oh, God.
Ashley, you are in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
Not a fan of tickling?
Same here, too.
Yep, me too.
Hate being tickled.
At the very least, I'll put you in a hospital if you try to tickle me.
I'm like Nick. If you touch my arms or my legs, you're gonna get kicked or hit.
Hate it.
It's just a knee-jerk reaction for me.
My big one is my armpits. Don't go near my armpits.
You guys are stupid. Because you've just given away your most ticklish spot. I don't say a word about it.
Oh, that's so smart.
Because some dumbbell's going to come up behind you at a bar gig, and you're going to end up punching him in the face.
Great. Someone's going to touch my armpit.
You did give yours out last Friday. Or
last
Thursday,
Friday.
when we had the girls from Rickson.
Oh, he said his... That's right.
We had this conversation with the girls from Rick's Cabaret?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, what did I say?
Your armpits.
I was lying.
It's a good thing I'm not ticklish because I do get touched a lot. I brought this up. You guys thought, what? And then you've noticed it.
People like to touch you, Josh.
And on Friday at Toys for Tatas, I had a few people like grabbed me kind of like around the waist.
Wow.
You know, and if I know that's a ticklish spot, like right above the hip there for some people.
Yeah, that would have got me.
Were they like moving you out of the way?
No, like just like a hey.
An embrace?
Yeah, like a hey, what's up?
Oh, God.
I got you around the waist. Now what?
Now what you gonna do?
I just got a text message from Wolfpack Softball Jesus. He's got a joke for us. Remember we were talking about how folks in Wisconsin, their top sexual fetish, according to internet searches, is socks? Remember how I said that to you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfpack Softball Jesus has a joke. He said, how did the seaman cross the road? Do you guys know how the seaman crossed the road?
No, how?
Dana put on the wrong pair of socks.
Come on, Dana.
It's an awful mistake to make.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 states. Their top sexual fetish searched was, oh no, diapers.
So, has anyone watched diaper porn?
No. I've never seen it anywhere.
Then you wouldn't know. I was wondering if part of it is it has to be soiled during the process, or maybe
I'm guessing that's
is that
part of
what
the
you
thing.
need? Is that what you
Yeah.
want, or is just a diaper enough?
Never saw it. I don't know the rules.
There was an episode of the medical show House once that featured a guy who liked to be treated like a baby. He liked the woman to take and change his diapers and
I remember
things like
that
that. Mm-hmm.
I loved that show.
I did
love
too.
it so much. I just rewatched it. It's still so good.
All right, someone texted in here. Can we hear Texas's fetish, please? And that text is from Everything's Bigger in Texas, but my penis, Jesus. Texas fell into line with a bunch of other states. Everything's bigger than Texas, but my penis, Jesus. Texas fell in line with Minnesota. They searched giantess, whatever the hell the proper term is. Okay, before we get out of here, let's wrap this up. All the other favorite sexual fetishes that we have here in America. I don't know what this one means, and maybe we should, for the most part, leave it alone. But it says here that in Alaska, their favorite sexual fetish is called sissy. Hey, Wapple, you're popular in Alaska.
I had to look that up as well, and I found a picture of me and Wapple sharing a Zima at a screening of The Notebook. And then I understood what it meant.
That was a great day.
2 straws and 1 Zima.
Wasn't that a fun day?
Yeah, it was.
Missouri, pantyhose.
Sure.
I could see that.
Montana and Maine, face sitting.
Oh. Yeah?
Go ahead, lower it down.
Winning Montana.
Lower it on down, Cubby said. Little to the left. And finally, the #1 porn fetish search in the state of Indiana. Proud state. Beautiful place to go.
Home of Larry Bird and David Letterman.
Woody Boyd. The #1 sexual fetish searched by folks in Indiana. It's just one word. Fart.
No. I don't like that.
Thanks for making your stance on fart porn very clear, Ashley.
I don't like that.
No. Not at all.
Bold take over there.
Did everyone hear me, what I said?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay. Fart.
Ashley, you say it.
No, thanks.
No, she's not going to say it. Congratulations to Farty Britches Jesus.
On winning a trip to Indiana.
Yes, perfect timing. And CFH bass player Jesus. They're closing out a new home today. What a terrible mistake. We've said it before. Crazy Fish Guy Jesus texted in to say safe travels to Marissa and Connie, the best former stepmom a guy could ever ask for. Heading to Vegas tonight for the National Finals Rodeo.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
On behalf of myself and Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, we would like to wish you a very happy holidays. And don't forget, Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is open 24/7 for emergency services to make sure you stay warm this holiday season. Go to standardheating.com today.